and play.
I vow to thee, my country, all earthly things above, entire and whole and perfect, the service of my love. The love that asks no question, the love that stands the test, that lays upon the altar the dearest and the best. The love that never falters, the love that pays the price, the love that makes undaunted the final sacrifice. I vow to thee, my country, all earthly things above, entire and whole and perfect, the service of my love. And there's another country I've heard of long ago, most dear to them that love her, most great to them that know. We may not count her armies, or we may not see her king. Her fortress is a faithful heart, her pride is suffering. And song by song and silently her shining bounds increase, and her ways are ways of gentleness, and all her paths are peace. I heard my country calling away across the sea, across the waste of waters. She calls and calls to me, her love that asks no question, her love that stands the test, that lays upon the altar the dearest and the best. I vow to thee, my country, all earthly things above, entire and whole and perfect, the service of my love.
All right, you have beautiful stuff there from Right Honourable Limbu, and what can you even really say about Prince Philip? Obviously someone that was very, very dedicated to the service of this country. Whatever you think about the monarchy, obviously fought for Britain in World War II. Served, serving, sort of giving speeches and all those kind of things into his 90s. And I think he was, I sort of like the last sort of paternalistic sort of royal. You see like Prince William and Kate now sort of like kowtowing to, sort of like they're sort of almost apologetic for their position of power. And I think Philip wasn't that. Like, I think to an extent the monarchy, if it exists, it has to be, above us to an extent, right? It has to be sort of separate from those things. And I think he was that, but at the same time, obviously, he did things like the Duke of Edinburgh Award. which helped a lot of people, especially working class people in this country. And yeah, like a fantastic guy. And seeing as the 37 gang are here, we may as well do the 5-minute hate about PA. Not one statement
It's
from
early,
any of them on this. Not one statement. This guy fought for this country, right? And because when you don't make a statement, you get people saying stupid things like he's a reptilian, blood-sucking demon or something. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone on the stream. We got Marco and Limbu here. Let's get some chats up. Big up everyone in the chat. Our people will prevail. Our traditions will prevail. Our nation will prevail. We got Top Cat. Hello, Toppy. Big up. Drunk Toppy is best Toppy, of course. Got Faust in the chat says, I think that says "got." He spelled "got" wrongly, so he needs to pick up on his German. I think that says "God save His Majesty Prince Philip the German." I don't care. He was the King of England. He served this country in World War II. Very gallantly, might I add. And I don't care if he's part German. To an extent, we're Anglo-Saxons, aren't we? So I have no problem at all. And Faust, I'm going to say it's a bit below you to talk about that on what is meant to be a memorial stream, my friend. We can remember this guy very fondly if we want to. We got 37 gang. God has endowed the British race with a worldwide empire.
Yes.
That they may execute his sovereign purpose in the world. The victories you will have over the heathen are the victories of the noble soul and man. His great grandfather was King Nicholas I. That's correct. School attendance was too low. Everyone at my school did it because you got to get out of assemblies if you did DV. So everyone signed up for it and then just didn't finish it. So because you got to get out of assemblies. So Limbu, any thoughts on Prince Philip? Anything you want to add to what I've said?
Let me start with a little Catholic prayer. Go forth, Christian soul, from this world, in this name of God Almighty Father, who created you, in the name of Jesus Christ, Son of the living, who suffered for you, in the name of the Holy Spirit, who was poured out upon you. Go forth, faithful Christian. May you live in peace this day. May your home be with God in Zion, with Mary, the Virgin, Mother of God, with Joseph and all the angels and saints. As a Catholic, I was worried with His Highness as a convert Anglican that he would not make it to heaven, but I beg mercy from God that he will get clear purgatory, meet God's grace, and may make satisfaction for past sins, so he may rest in God's paradise. Prince Philip was more than a man. He was a war hero. He was a companion to Her Majesty, and at the end of the day, he was a father and a grandfather. He fulfilled his role in a family and for the nation. This won't be a massive eulogy. However, the life of Prince Philip shall not be forgotten, and I pray for a harsh punishment for the people who would like to joke and slander about his royalness. To cite a funny quote from His Highness, he said, "When a man opens a car for his wife, it's either a new car or a new wife." His Highness may not be with us anymore, but this might be a new opening for our royal family and our nation, a positive light which Prince Philip would have wanted to have. So here we are. Although we have small voices on this platform and hardly any influence, for anyone watching this tonight, go to your loved ones, tell them you love them, spend time with your family. May he rest in peace now and forever. Now that's all from me.
Amen. That's very, very cool words there. I should probably chuck your video in the chat. It's a really, really good video if I can just get it up. Everyone sub to Right Honourable Limbu. But Marco Colatti is here as well. The absolute legend is here.
37 gang.
37 gang. 37 gang. I think everyone's given quite a big speech there. Is there anything like you want to particularly add about Prince Philip or?
He was a pretty good guy, to be fair. I dislike the fucking monarchy. I think it's an outdated crap institution. But Philip, fought against the war all this stuff. He's a good bloke, I'd say. Much better than fucking Harry. And who's Andrew? The nonce one, Andrew. Yeah, he's much better than those idiots. I'm surprised. Speaking of PA, I'm surprised that they didn't, kind of prop him up. As wasn't he very comfortable with the Nazis, all that stuff? His cousins married them.
He was, yeah. He went to a funeral in Nazi Germany. I think he was only 16 at the time, and I think it was for his sister. So, I wouldn't slander him too much for that, but I don't think he was particularly supportive of the Nazi German government. But yeah, I think when I think about Prince Philip, I mean, he had to flee Greece. I think when he was quite young, and there was a thing I got up actually. I had a thing up. I've taken it down, which is stupid. Good preparation. But like, he wanted to be a naval officer. He wanted to do this career, and I think when he found out that he had to, be the, consort to Queen Elizabeth, I think he was quite like upset about it. I think I believe I was thinking. Well, actually, I think it was on Hemistream. I think he sat with like a newspaper over his face for about 5 minutes. Just like, oh, I can't believe that I have to do this, because he didn't want to do this. Really, it wasn't like his choice. I suppose it's something that you're called to do. But I think in that situation, I think, he has to be applauded. And obviously he continued to do it till he was in his 90s. I think he did, I think as Phil brought up, there's clips of him, you can see of like going into these sort of like working class areas, and he was just able to get along with people, because even though he was, to an extent higher up than them, he just had the ability to get on with people, and he was, very admirable in that way. And I think even as Coletti said, like, yeah, he could just do it. Yeah. And he'll be sorely missed. And yeah, there was this clip I wanted to play because it's quite a funny one, and it sort of shows a bit of his banter. I think I'll get up some quotes of him later. But this is a good
lunch here today. Thank you for a very good lunch. It's it's quite nostalgic, because it's very nearly 40 years since the first time I came to Washington. In fact, I came with the Queen before she'd succeeded in President Truman's day. So it just makes you realize how old I am. And there was a splendid, because just at that time, if you remember, there's been a general election at home, and Winston Churchill his party had just got back in again. And while we were here in Washington, some splendid, rather elderly lady, who I don't think quite knew what was going on, she greeted the Queen by saying, "I'm so pleased your father's been re-elected." Well, somebody standing next to her got really rather embarrassed and knew much better about it. He said, "No, dear, that was Winston Churchill." So she turned to me, "Oh, I'm so pleased to meet you." I don't think anybody tried to explain that one away. And then you said that I was present at the Japanese surrender in Tokyo. That was splendid at the time, but it got a little embarrassing later on, because we paid a state visit to Japan several years later. And of course, a lot of people there said, "Your first visit to Japan?" And I said, "Yes." I'm not always as tactless as people make out. You said that my sporting career was over. I have to correct you. Anybody who's had anything to do with horses finds it very difficult to give up. There's a sort of class of lunatic that takes.
Yeah, I think that kind of shows you the kind of person he was. As he said, top banter. I should go through some comments now, shouldn't I? Anglo says cringe Cromwell Coletti.
Cromwell Coletti. He's the king of banter, to be honest.
I'll refute this Cromwell thing. The only reason I'm Cromwell was just a dab on the Irish. That's it. I don't know shit about him. That's it. I don't waver. I'm not going to do anything. and pro Cromwell. It's just that on the Irish. That's it.
I will do if you link it to me. No, a king should never be afraid to go among his people. Indeed, and I think that just kind of shows, like, you know, he's in there. He's able to. I think he's being a good representative of the British people there. You can see sort of like being able to get down to people's level is what I'm trying to get across. But Limbu, any thoughts, Limbu? Anything you got to say?
I mean, I think I quoted my mini eulogy. He was the king of banter, essentially. You had on Twitter the whole, oh, he's a sexist, he's a misogynist. I mean, this shows how shit banter's gone. I mean, you can't make a little joke. I mean, silly event. I mean, I think it was 1959. He went to female convention and he said British women can't cook. I mean, that's obviously good nature, bit of banter. I mean, but yeah, they didn't get it. I mean, the modern children didn't get it. I mean, it's sad, to be honest.
But the question is, can British women cook? What do you think?
It depends what dish is. It depends what dish, to be honest.
Do you think that's a base take, Coletti, or not so much?
Base mate, British women are shit at cooking. I agree with that.
It depends what. Yeah, I mean, I think my grandma's quite a good cook. My mum, yeah.
It's like
spaghetti was always a bit soggy, to be honest.
They can only perfect like one dish. That's it. It's not a wide range.
Mini Wazza says beans on toast. Lol. Welsh women, though. Welsh women, I gotta say. Anger, no, I don't think you have Spanish, so I don't think. If you can send it to me on Twitter, I'll play it. Right, okay. Fought a war with him. Yeah. Well, I mean, that kind of helps me think that Cromwell was good. My mum actually, she wanted to say, my mum's from Lincolnshire, and she's like, oh, you need to say to Faust, what was it? Like, you invaded them, and she's really angry or something. I don't know exactly. So that was terrible delivery. I mean, it was really funny in my head, but I mean, when I say it out loud, it's not so funny. That's just the lack of talent. Just the lack of talent I have. Apparently, he courted Elizabeth himself. Very based in Red Pill. And continuing on from that, if I can get the link up. Okay, put it in. Just on the old Guido. If it loads. Old PC. Right, if you keep scrolling, you can see there's a lot of stuff about him. And there was a Labour group chat. I can get it up specifically. There was a Labour group chat where they were like saying, they're like, oh, well, you can see here it is. Yeah, Commons is sitting on Monday, 90-minute circle jerk of what a great man he was, conveniently forgetting other issues. Other issues, of course, being his rather based comments. It's going to be intolerable. Can't even leave this country. Hunker down, and this usual. It will not pass. I think we should probably have radio silence on this topic. Yeah. Simon Burgess, you're correct, but it's too late for that. It's been leaked to Guido. So, and it's a sign, like, I don't know. There was another thing as well that I'm going to bring up in a minute from The Guardian.
I mean, if this is how Labour's group chat is, I wonder how the Tory group chat is. I mean, it must be much worse. I mean, they're in government as well. I mean, they're quite arrogant. Look at the state of them.
Oh, my
evening all. How are we doing?
It's because I tried to add someone and now it's frozen again. Right, high quality entertainment.
How are we doing? Oake, it's Emmy. Hello.
Okie dokie.
I was going to say that bird from The Guardian's been told off or something, hasn't she? Oake, are you there? I've killed Oake.
Yeah, Oak's dead. Yeah, poor man.
Killed Oake. He's dead, you cunts. You're laughing and he's dead. I've got to say, from Hobbit, Faust, the Duchess scum.
Yep.
Yeah, he's dead. Cool.
Yeah, the Guardian have disowned that writer woman that Oakie's going to talk about in a sec.
Oh, which article was it on?
Do you want a copy of it?
Wait, is it the one talking about the BBC thing? Or...
Sorry, gents, technical difficulties.
No,
hello, Hemi.
Oh, you're right, mate. How you doing?
Hello. Carry on, whatever you were saying.
I was just saying that bird's been disowned by the Guardian. You're just about to talk about her, aren't you? Oake?
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly. There was an article in the Guardian talking about BBC complaints, complaints to the BBC about the whole thing. Right, if I close that tab. Technical difficult. This is my computer's so old it just crashes when anyone joins the stream.
Do you remember that time Skokey got locked out of his own stream? That was hilarious.
Right, there you go. Got the things up now. Thinking of other issues. I mean, usually I like to take the position that if the left dislikes something, then it's probably a good idea to like it. Like it's like the opposite of what Richard Spencer thinks, or Mark Collett, of course.
Yeah. I mean, you've got this strange position where PA and people like David Lammy occupy the same space politically.
Well, you say that David Lammy. I think he put up a statement saying like he sent his condolences to the Queen. So you could argue David Lammy in this case as being more patriotic than. I
think a lot. I mean, this censure from the Guardian for this woman, and like you say, Lammy toeing the line. Everyone seems to be in lockstep that we don't slag Phillip off, don't they?
You can see I've got a Corbyn comment up there, which I thought again actually quite conciliatory. I think it's even, to be honest, quite thoughtful. I think Jeremy Corbyn, I feel almost quite sympathetic to Jeremy Corbyn. I don't think I should.
Well, he's grown up a lot since he was Prime Minister, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. I think
because he used to do that silly sixth form shit where he'd go like, "Oh, I'm not wearing a suit to Parliament" or whatever the bollocks was.
I must say I've got respect for him because I think he's someone with quite a lot of principle. I'll say that, and I think he's stayed consistent on a lot of issues.
I'll take issue with it. I'll give you one issue, and that's the EU. His principle on the EU would have been to get out of the EU because he's pro-union, which are protectionist. So. That's a very big thing to and ah on, because all he did was refuse to answer the question when he was ever asked it, didn't he?
Yeah, I think to be fair to him, he did make his party vote in favour of Article 50 when the membership voted against it. I think, and I don't. That's probably the only issue where you can say he's sort of backed down. But on a lot of other issues where it's quite publicly unpopular, like I think for the monarchy, for an example, even though I'm a monarchist, I can appreciate that he's at least stuck to his guns on a few things. And he stuck to his guns on things like Bolivia when it was pretty publicly unpopular, and on Palestine as well. So I've got a lot of respect for Jeremy Corbyn. I think he was smeared quite a lot in the media. I think wrongly.
How do you think Elizabeth will be judged in the future? Because I think she should be judged as the woman who's let the royal family go to rack and ruin. I mean, her work ethic's number one. I won't slag her work ethic off because she's busy. She does all this shit. It's all A1. But the problem is she's let too much slide, hasn't she? She should have put her foot down over leaving the EU, because at some point she's got to be a monarch at some point, hasn't she? She's supposed to be the like deciding factor, isn't she?
You're right, but in all fairness, all the other institutions around her have basically gone leftward, right? So if they do anything, the monarchy will go, and it's the issues you die on, I think, Hemi, isn't it really?
Well, how much longer do you give the monarchy after Charles takes charge, though?
I will always support the monarchy. I think the monarchy should always win because it's the embodiment of the British state. But I mean, Charles appears to me to be pretty publicly unpopular. I'll try and add Phil in. My stream might crash, so everyone just talk when. Oh
yeah, it's gonna crash definitely. 3, 2, right. I'll close every single tab on my computer other than that one, and then we'll see if it works.
She can't take no more, Captain. The StreamYard is too much, Captain.
The StreamYard cannot take someone being added. Right, fingers crossed, everyone. Here comes Phil.
Oh dear.
Phil's in. Oh, Oake, you still there?
There we go.
No, he's dead.
It's worked.
Oh,
back alive.
I've closed all the tabs, and that did work. So
Power of communism.
yeah, the power of Stalinist.
you diverted all of the power to the dilithium crystals, did you, Oake?
Indeed.
Laptop as well, yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, Phil. Thank you very much for joining us. As you can see, we're going over the this Jeremy Corbyn tweet, which I thought was quite conciliatory. But yeah, I think you've sort of given your thoughts on Philip already, haven't you? But is there anything you sort of want to
argue is it the monarchy is an institution. I don't agree with, but as an individual, I actually think the Duke of Edinburgh was a top bloke. That's the point. Duke of Edinburgh Award has helped out a lot of disadvantaged people, and he's done a lot of good, a lot of good work objectively. He's been a good person. So even if you're against the monarchy, you can still say, "Oh, do you know what? As an individual, he was a decent person." That's it, pretty much. That's all that's saying.
Yeah, I totally agree. People are saying William and Kate. Oh, sorry, I wasn't sure if you were talking. There's a bit of a noise. William and Kate are decent, in my opinion. Well, you sort of there's a picture. I might get up.
We were trying to rack our brains recently. William said something that we all thought was like, whoa, but none of us can remember what it was. He went a bit. He said something that was a bit woke, didn't he? But I can't remember what it was at all. I don't know whether he went over the top during this like so-called racism allegations or what. But it was a little bit.
I know what the comment was. He said he made some comment that like there was something he put up with like him and his like black mate, like saying that his black mate doesn't think he's racist, or it was something like really weird. I think that the reason that he did that was because there was quite a lot of speculation going around that he was the one who made the comment about the race of Archie. I can't remember what Archie's Duke of, but
They should have done the Spartacus bit and all gone. Yeah, we made the comment. Yeah, I made the comment. Every last one of them should have said I made the comment.
Yeah, well, that would have been the best thing. But collective responsibility is what we call that.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was reading an article, and I don't think it was the royal family. Well, directly, I think it was indirect, like a clothes designer, because of course if you're going to be a clothes designer, you want to know what shade skin color, what pigment your person who's going to dress up to be, because if it's, let's say, white and if it clashes with the color, of course you want to know what skin color it is. So I think it was quite out of context, the Meghan Markle's little comment.
Well, she knew what she was doing. It wasn't. She wasn't mixed up. She wasn't confused. She wasn't. That was just absolute, just fucking knives out, weren't it?
Yeah.
I was going to say though, but aren't the rumours that it was Anne that said it?
Anne.
I hope it was Charles, but I'm not holding my breath.
Isn't it about time the royal family answered the Harry question and just threw his DNA test? He's Hewitt's kid. Throw him out on his ear. Isn't that what we need to do now with Harry?
Very possibly. Yeah, I don't know. Do you? I sort of have mixed opinion on it. Like, I think you brought it up on, I think it was the last stream you did, Hemi. The James Hewitt thing. I'm a bit unconvinced because there's different angles, and you sort of think he does actually look a bit like his supposed father, doesn't he? I think.
What you do, Oake, is you don't look at Harry, you look at William and how he's aged, and then you see because William has aged identically to his father, hasn't he? Mm. Whereas Harry, I know he's got a bit of male pattern baldness at the back there, but he's got a good thick head of hair, hasn't he? Like his dad.
Possibly. Then another factor to consider as well is that the fact that I think James Hewitt is actually a distant relative of the monarchy, so it could be they're actually shared genetics.
Oh yeah, I've heard this one. Isn't he allegedly a Stuart, and that's why they muddied his bloodline? Have you heard that conspiracy theory?
Possibly. But they're all the aristocracy are basically related, aren't they? Well, to be fair, like, I don't know, you can go up to like little villages in Lincolnshire, and they're all related as well. So, I mean, it was the Catholic Church that got rid of kin marriages, of course. People just used to marry their fifth or sixth cousin, didn't they? So everyone was a little bit inbred back in the day.
Yeah, it's kind of dysgenic, that kind of stuff, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I agree. That's why the church got rid of it. But anyway, BBC were flooded. Oh, does anyone else want to? There's quite a lot of people on the stream. I'm not handling the stream as well as Hemi does. Does anyone else? Does anyone else want to make any comment on anything I've just said? This is me going around the panel. Anyone?
Phil, come on, Phil.
What going on?
The Harry question, Phil. The Harry question.
The Harry question. I don't know. Probably, yeah. Even this kid, probably. Like, she was a bit of a slag, wasn't she? Let's be real here. Like, she was a bit of a slut, wasn't she?
All right, don't speak too ill of the dead. All right.
Yeah, whatever.
She did fuck her own sister over to marry Charles. Because I don't know whether you know, but Diana's older sister was dating Charles before Diana was.
Oh, that's peak.
Right, Noah wants me to get this up. We'll talk about this. There was a load of complaints to the BBC. I'm not sure if anyone here actually watches any television anymore, but I
watch TV. I just don't watch the BBC. I just kind of boycott. I kind of like, well, not even like on purpose. It's just if it's on the BBC, it's guaranteed to be trash. So I just don't engage with the BBC.
Well, being a weapons grade nan kid, I do sometimes watch documentaries on the BBC. But I think
even they're not very good anymore, are they? The glory days of the BBC documentaries are way behind us. The days of was it Young Nazis? Which was the? I can't remember which one was.
That was on Channel 4. That was on Channel 4.
The Panorama. I can't remember which one was the Panorama documentary about Collett. That was my first experience of Mark Collett. That was.
Wasn't that ITV or like? Yeah.
I think it's the Secret Agent, because there's three, isn't there? There's the Secret Agent.
Yeah. The Secret Agent was a Jewish person as well.
No, that was Young Nazi and Proud.
Oh, yeah.
So you got Young Nazi and Proud, which was Channel 4, I think. So I think that was Dispatches. There's the Secret Agent, where he's only in right at the end, and then you've got the Russell Brand one, which was, I think, BBC 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's BBC 2.
I mean, Limbo, I wouldn't question these people on the what do you call it? The story.
We are Collett historians.
All right, no comment.
All right. I hear. What is his name? Silius Sodus. What? Silius Sodus. All right.
Yeah.
I heard it was Princess Anne that asked if the little quadroon would be.
Yeah, I heard that as well. We can't say because we don't know, but
my mum meant Princess Anne.
If she did.
I think Princess Anne is probably. I think she's considered one of the more liberal ones, isn't she, Princess Anne?
I don't think so. I don't think she's just old school, isn't she?
That wasn't the impression I got, but maybe.
Yeah, but people in the past when they were liberal, they're not
like favourite royals. I think Anne's my second after Philip.
There was that distant royal who made some like race. Who made some like quite like he was like pro Enoch Powell like comment in a debate. I think he was like the Queen's fourth cousin or something. He's probably my favourite royal.
There's Princess Michael of Kent, whose grandfather was in the SS, wasn't he? I can't. That was a big thing. That was like a big scandal in the 80s that her grandfather was in the SS.
I'm sorry, enemy of Britain. I
also forgot to mention it. Well, I weren't in the stream then, but when you were mentioning the royal wedding, four of Philip's sisters were married to SS officers, don't you?
Well, yeah, he's a member of the what house was he in? I think he was in Mountbatten, but he was originally in a different one. It was Mountbatten, but he was in. I think he's actually something like. Is it Glutenberg? I think he was in. I can't remember.
Is it the Habsburg?
No, Habsburg Gotha. I think is that's the British royal family.
Right. Okay.
But anyway, the BBC were flooded with complaints over the coverage of Prince Philip's death. I believe BBC One. I think the official procedure is 14 days of like programming about the Duke of Edinburgh. which I think, I don't know, like, you know,
it'll be funny. It's almost worth watching to watch him dance around his comments, because you know they're absolutely not going to show any of those, are they?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was like, I think I can't remember who said it. It was an article I read. Someone that Duke's friends with. He wrote an article saying, like, you know, they're even using like his comments as, like, you know, they're saying, oh well, you know, they're lowering him to that human level, aren't they? Like, and this kind of shows that the amount of complaints that they are, like, you know, there's not the same respect for the old order that there was. And I mean, I'm a monarchist myself, but I mean, does, you know, if people are complaining about him being, you know, remembered on the TV when he was meant to be, you know, a Duke of Edinburgh, the second in command, right? Does this institution still have like the same meaning that it used to have? But you can see, yeah. But I mean, it's lowering it to a human level as well, and especially like you see on Twitter, like people, you know, talking about what their personal view on him was, and it's lowering it down to that human level, and it's someone's died at the end of the day, and he was someone who fought for this country. So I think on any level, I think there should be a level of respect, whatever you think of the monarchy. Yeah. Kalati, I haven't heard from you in a bit. You got anything to add on any of this?
Not really, mate. I mean, say it again though. Phil was all right, but the whole institution, monarchy's crap. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, it's a question of relevance.
Respect the man if the guy dies, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm a rather middle class person, so that's probably why. But you know, I think I don't know. It's just because I believe in hierarchies, and I think that, like, you know, it's a 1,000-year-old institution in many ways.
Hierarchy is the reason she should have stepped in over Brexit. Is my opinion.
Well, yeah. My only view on that is basically, I can't remember who made the quote, but you know, Britain cannot be made again, England cannot be made again, and you know, we were a monarchy, and that's what built us up to, you know, a pretty great civilization. You know, what we ruled a quarter of the world, didn't we? So, constitutional monarchy, probably the best form of government if you look historically. But you know, at the moment, there's a few problems. I can agree, and I can see why the monarchy doesn't have, you know, the same relevance to people that it used to. Phil's come back. I've got this thing up, right. I'll close all the tabs again.
Change the polarity on the couplings.
I must have caught Hemi's cold. I think Hemi's had a bit of a cold recently. But
no, I just get really. Sometimes I just get really mucusy when I podcast. I don't get a cold. Literally, I'll have it while I podcast, and then it stops again immediately afterwards.
Kaid, I'm not sure how you say that. That's a stupid Welsh symbol, isn't it? There was an excellent, not stupid, sorry. There was an excellent comment under Colin Liddell's article on the death of the Duke. That was the article I was actually referencing. If you replace your monarchy with a potted plant and get the same results, then it's probably not very good. Indeed, and I think what I'm trying to get across here is that I think perhaps Philip was like the last one, the last monarch that sort of, except for maybe Elizabeth, but you know, who sort of embodied that paternalistic spirit. And you don't get that with, you know, certainly not with Harry, and not with William either. But you know, they're sort of like this modern rule. They're sort of almost apologetic. I'm seeing them as sort of like apologetic. You know, so they'll go to a call center like full of black people, and you're just like, "Hello, I'm going to go down to your level. We're really sorry." I was like, it makes you fucking wanna. All right, okay, I'll get Now wants me to get up the video. I'll play it while we're on the while I'm possibly crashing. So then, right, okay, close all the tabs. Here we go. We're going on bloody.
I've got all the power to the dilithium crystals. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's play.
One thing that.
Right. Drag it back to the beginning. Make it full screen, and we'll add Phil to the stream. There we go. Right. Fingers crossed.
It's worked.
Let's move on to the men in the title. One thing that comes through very, very clearly is your concern that the individual shouldn't be lost in the bureaucracy of state. It is something you feel very strongly about, isn't it?
Is that very unusual?
I think you have it's a particular hallmark actually of your writing, this concern for the individual.
Oh,
well, I mean, you've only got to travel about, and you've only got to see what has happened in other countries and what are the consequences of dictatorships. In the sense, the philosophy that individuals are there for the sake of the state, and I think that seems to be wrong to me. It seems to me the state is there for the sake of the individual. People have got very good intentions. They feel that they know better, but in a way, I don't think if you have a system in which people are not actively involved and don't, when I say actively involved, are not considered in any way, as if the significance is the individuals in the state rather than the state is.
It was Oake crashed. That's gone quiet. Oh, Oake and Phil are gone. Laptop,
cool.
Shit, laptop gang are both gone.
37 takedown.
37 gang.
Yes, yeah.
You ever seen Marco's group on the groupers, Limbo?
Oh no, I haven't seen his.
He got on when Patriotic Talk had Dutton on. He got on there pretending to be Charlie Big Potatoes. 37 gang.
I'm Barkley, mate. Yeah.
Oh, we got one. Oh, we got crap laptop gang back.
Oh, MacBook gang.
There we go. Right, it will be fine if people didn't drop on and off.
Yeah, Phil.
Videos,
Yeah, I can't help it. My fucking laptop blows up.
You and your fucking communist laptop.
It's going snow on you, mate.
Made in China, innit?
Right, okay.
It's a Soviet laptop he bought off a Dell boy, isn't it? Phil.
Deal boy.
Right, we're watching this. Whatever this is. Niall wanted to see this, so we'll play this.
Yeah, put Sargon back on.
Let's move on to the men in the title. One thing that comes through very, very clearly is your concern that the individual shouldn't be lost in the bureaucracy of state. It is something you feel very strongly about, isn't it?
Is that very unusual?
I think you have it's a particular hallmark actually of your writing, this concern for the individual.
Well, I mean, you've only got to travel about and you've only got to see what has happened in other countries and what are the consequences of dictatorships. In the sense, the philosophy that individuals are there for the sake of the state, and I think that seems to be wrong to me. It seems to me the state is there for the sake of the individual. People have got very good intentions. They feel that they know better, but in a way, I don't think if you have a system in which people are not actively involved and don't, when I say actively involved, are not considered in any way, as if the significance is the individuals in the state rather than the state is more important. I think if you always keep saying that it's in the public interest that people should behave in a particular way, you end up by being pushed around because somebody decides that I know what the public interest is, you don't. Therefore, you're off to prison or whatever.
You say what people need is.
Any thoughts, anyone?
He's just Sargon of a card, isn't he? Fucking hell. What about the individuals? Like, fuck off, you're a monarch.
Sargon of Edinburgh.
I mean, I don't know. I think there has to be. I mean, I think the prophet Brutus, peace be upon him, was very keen on individualism, wasn't he? So, I think that to an extent there has to be like a focus on the individual, doesn't there? I mean, you can't have a collective without an individual because a collective is made up of individuals. By
yeah.
Well, fuck all those cunts.
Yeah, but
Oh.
but
Yeah, he's just popped in.
This is a bank stream now.
collective rights trump individual rights. Like, individuals don't mean fuck all, really. Like, on their own, they don't really achieve a lot. They're reliant on the fucking collective. If there's too much emphasis on the individual, you end up with the mess that you've got right now, this country, where you've got fucking gay dildos and all sorts of bullshit. You know?
Well, the COVID lockdown is a libertarian problem, isn't it? Because we've got to save every single life. Whereas if you have to if you're going to run a country, you have got to be a little bit psychopathic, haven't you? You've got to weigh up the greater good, haven't you?
Well, yeah, it's a will to power, isn't it? You have to have, I suppose. There was an article I saw like a few days ago. Not a few days ago, a while ago, but basically saying that like they were arguing that Trump was a fascist because he had will to power. But I'm like, surely all politicians have a will to power, don't they? I mean, I think it was one of like, I'm not sure if ever anyone's seen like that graph of like, these are the 10 points that indicate you're living in a fascist dictatorship.
Well, I think there are a few graveyards that admit that Hillary Clinton had a will to power.
Well, if someone can find me a clip of Phillip asking the interviewer, have you ever read Locke? That's a classic reference. This kind of society is the product of individualism. Dutch liberalism. What the Dutch? There's not really much Dutch philosophy, is there? There's sort of like the low Protestant sort of Calvinist stuff, isn't there? But yeah. There's the
TV programs they have in Dutchland, where you get grown adults getting naked in front of kids. That is a real TV show in Dutchland.
I would tell you what the next story was, but I had to close all the tabs. So, all right, we'll do some. Right, being an individual is important. We are not judged by God collectively. I mean, I'm not sure how many people on here are actually religious, but I don't know. I think you can't have collectivism without individualism by definition. It's about getting the balance, isn't it? I mean, people always say, "Oh, I'm an individualist." Sorry, Phil. People always say like, "Oh, I'm an individualist," or someone says, "Oh, I'm a collectivist." But I think like you can't like exist in those kind of two absolutes. Like I'd argue that collectivism, as like you can't really call yourself like a collectivist because there still has to be some like semblance of the individual. You can't call yourself a total individualist. But anyway, sorry, carry on, Phil.
Yeah, well, the point is what takes priority. Is it individual rights or collective rights? Ultimately, you have to take a stand on certain issues. It's like an example would be if you've got some fucking, I don't know, Englishman and he's like, well, actually, I want to marry a Filipino and sell my property to Sheikh Mohammed over there. At some point, we have to go, nah, bollocks to you. Like, the nation matters more. You're not doing that. Collective rights trump your bullshit. Fucking lot.
Well, I did that story about the estate in there's an estate in Oxfordshire. I can't remember how big it is. It's pretty big. It's going for like 1.2 million. It's being sold from one foreigner to another basically, which is like completely wrong.
Yeah, pretty much. That was a bit delayed, but that's like my flag on. but yeah. The individual doesn't mean shit. Generally speaking, when you allow individualism in a country, you end up with a mess that you've got right now, where people don't give a fuck about the collective at all, or the nation at all. They're more concerned with commies and hedonism. So you have to be a line where you have to go, hold on a minute, lads. And
well, I think it's a false dichotomy. I'm not really a fan of like going around calling people individualist or collectivist because I think it's not a binary decision. I think there has to be a balance. I think, as you've put rightly, there's not enough focus on the collective. There's too much focus on the individual. But yeah, I don't think
you can't have a society where, like an example in the Soviet Union is that people wouldn't use the term "I"; they would say "our," "we" all the time, and that gets a bit fucking stupid. Like when you're always
hold on a minute. Fausti's getting me mixed up with Hobbit number 1 and number 2. Drag queen story hours are a yank, but considering you suck up to woes and Collet, your mate, you only really care about the Yanks anyway, Faust. So I fully understand your ignorance.
Oh, I mean, to be fair. Oh, hang on. Are we still here? Did it crash?
No, we're all good.
We're all good. Good. Right, I'll defend Faust a bit. Like, I don't think he's particularly pro-collab from what he said to me. But I think he did go on Brutus's stream that time. But I know you aren't friends with Brutus anymore. But I don't know. I to be honest, Hemi, I think Brutus is quite funny. But
yeah, he's funny. Oh, I won't deny that one. It's just like it just gets to the point where like when you're just constantly jannying up after someone, it gets a bit tedious.
Well,
Fausta said here, Fausta said Yanks are Anglos. I don't agree with that. Like, one, Yanks are a rebel colony to start off with. They're literally just like a rebel colony who's gone AWOL. They read too much Locke as well. And also, yeah, most of them are German now. They're all Germans and shit, aren't they? They're not fucking, they're not Anglos. They've evolved now. They've turned into their own degenerate states. They're a rebel colony. They're like Al Qaeda, pretty much. America are.
No, and also, Faust, you were on Millennial this year.
Why are the Dutch collectively gay?
Anyone ever see that Harry Enfield sketch about the gay policeman?
This is my.
Hi, I'm Mr. So and So. Did you check you for me? And this is my life partner Ronald. You ever seen that one? That's really funny. That sketch is.
My lover also.
well, yeah, I think
Brutus is funny. I mean, listen to this comic timing.
Well, fuck all those cunts.
I mean, that is comic timing right there, isn't it?
Who keeps like breaking all the cutlery in their house? Pure anger at Faust's comments. No, I don't mind Faust actually. I think I don't know. He needs to have a bit of a further look into who he associates with there. I think that's just my view. I mean, he's a lot older than me. So
to be fair, he is pretty ashamed of being Dutch. That's why he pretends to be German.
Well, to be fair, he probably just hangs out. He said himself he hangs out with all the Anglos because there's no Dutch people making content other than him. So he's the only.
That's because they're all gay.
Too busy killing kids, apparently.
Yeah. You know about this story, Roy. Like, the Dutch now are doing euthanasia for kids.
Oh yeah, I did hear.
Oh no.
Yeah, silly Protestant nation.
To be fair, I don't even like the euthanasia, the problem. Yeah, I'm not kidding. That's a shit. Yeah.
Quote from Faust, Phil. Nothing wrong with woes. Nothing wrong with woes.
Nothing wrong with woes. Yeah. Genital warts, gay.
Chronic genital warts.
Woes is subscribed to this channel. I'll have you know.
Oh. Sorry, mate.
Sorry, this is Pod Zone now.
I've never seen him.
I'd like to say the views of Hemi, Phil, and Marco are absolutely nothing to do with Royal Oak.
Nah, fuck Woes.
Disavow, mate.
What? God bless the Prince of Orange, indeed. It's the same reason I hang out with Anglos. Well, John McNamara seems, I don't know, he seems like one of the only like proud Christians, so he's alright. Yeah, anyway, this. I'm not like Boris Johnson. Yes, you are. There's nothing we have in common. This was like a whole like cope, basically, he did, like saying, I'm not like Boris Johnson. But in reality, he is like Boris Johnson. And he wants to
after this, let's watch the Lad Bible Starmer video, because I haven't watched it.
Well, it's the thing with Starmer is it's the neocon, neo-lib intersectionalism, isn't it? You know, where you have neo-libs on the so-called left and neocons on the so-called right, where they have exactly the same policies, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like here. I think someone said he looked a bit like Morrissey in this one. I'm not sure what you think.
He looks like he's going for that hip kind of thing, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh shit, my mic's swung around. Cool. Anyone got any thoughts on Starmer other than Hami's given his thoughts? But Limbo, any thoughts from Starmer?
It's Starmer. I mean, the only thing respectful, I think I DM'd you about this, was that he took a party line saying that the Labour Party are against marijuana, which I can fully get behind. I mean, and the current Tory government, they're saying, oh, it could be a possibility. I mean, that's wank. That's wank, especially for traditionalists myself. Like, if someone like Starmer's proposing, oh, we don't want marijuana. I mean, that's pretty based on his part, but everything else is allowed, to be honest.
You seen what Maximus Lollius has said? He said Richard Spencer's estranged elder brother.
He does as well.
He's got. You can imagine him. You can imagine him singing Depeche Mode songs down the karaoke, couldn't you?
Spray some powder.
Let's go spray some powder.
I probably one of the only things I agree with Richard Spencer on is Depeche Mode. I like Depeche Mode. But nah, Starmer's gay, but Richard Spencer. Nah, Starmer's like Richard Spencer, but instead of sounding gay, he sounds like a depressed car salesman.
Yeah.
Right. So
Starmer was. Let's not forget, Starmer was also instrumental in. Wasn't he? Didn't he have a big part of covering up the Rotherham rape gangs as well?
He did. Yeah. I can't remember exactly what his role was. I think he was the chief prosecutor, and he just failed to prosecute people. So he's a shit lawyer, and he's a shit leader of the opposition.
Yeah, he was the DPP, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think I don't know, to give a cringe political prediction. I think it's quite likely. I wouldn't be surprised if Labour won under 100 seats at the next election, because there's no way he's winning in Scotland. I mean, they've got, I think, 1 seat out of 56, and historically, the Labour Party have never won an election and not won a majority in Scotland, and I think they might even have no seats the next election. I think they're now the 6th largest party. I think even the Greens are bigger than them now. So
that's ridiculous, considering. Do you remember that election where UKIP polled really well? They pulled in more votes than the SNP. You got no seats.
They got 1. I think, yeah.
It's a joke. Yeah. It's an absolute joke.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why I'm sort of inclined to support Reform UK, just because they're going to get rid of, or add in proportional voting. I think that's mind you, proportional voting.
That Lawrence Fox. I mean, he's come. He's like showing his true colours now, though, isn't he? That recent tweet, isn't it? There's no such thing as British. It's like, oh, what is he going to reform? It's.
Well, yeah, you're totally right. I can't remember. I'll get it up actually. If my
mega cringe.
But yeah, I think it was like he was arguing with some people. People are saying in the chat, would you rather have Dangerfield or Woes? Which one do you prefer? We have to go round the piano. I didn't go to Phil on Starmer. I should probably ask. I'm a really terrible host, aren't I? Phil, any thoughts on Starmer?
Yeah, he's just a cut-out fucking neoliberal, pretty much. But he's got the problem with him is that he doesn't stand for fuck all. He just agrees with Boris Johnson on everything, pretty much. There's it's in no way different in any regard.
Controversial opinion, but could Keir Starmer win the next election because of Boris's handling of COVID?
Probably.
No.
I don't think he's going to. I think, to be fair, the left have gone way. They've embraced sort of this like American shit liberalism, and they're gonna. That's what they're going to become now. They're going to become
Right, we'll go to Coletti. Coletti, first question: what do you think of Keir Starmer? And second question: Woes or Dangerfield?
I have no clue who that knobhead is, but I would pick Woes because Dangerfield. I mean, Woes is just a sex pest, but Dangerfield's a drug peddling sex pest. So fuck that.
Yeah. Well, basically, do you want the warts? Do you want the warts? Do you want the warts? Do you want the warts or the vein? Is that? Do you want the warts or the injection? I think that's what you want. What do you want?
SOB said predictions of Hartlepool by-election. There was a poll recently that said the Tories are 20 points ahead, but they enormously underpolled people from Brexit Party. I think the Brexit Party, I believe, won 20% of the vote in Hartlepool, I think, in 2019, and I think they only had about 2 or 3% of people polling because they were doing it on national election, based on national election. So it said the Tories are 20 points ahead. They may not be. I suspect the Tories will win it. It looks like the way it's going. Do you know anything of what Hartlepool's generally like as like an area? I mean, are they do they swing left? Do they swing right? Are they one of these Labour places that's going conservative? Well, Hartlepool, I'm not sure about the specific like makeup of the area, but I seem to remember it had a quite famous Tory MP who was from Hartlepool, who I think was like the founder, like the grandson of the founder of the town or something weird.
Oh, was he one of the monkey hangers?
There was he was the mayor. That was the mayor of Hartlepool. Yeah, that's very well remembered. They had the mascot of Hartlepool Football Club was the mayor of Hartlepool for I think it was sometime in the 2000s. But that's a good bit of political knowledge there, Hemi, I must say.
That's their nickname, isn't it? That's the football team's nickname, isn't it? The monkey hat. I think they call them the monkey hangers, don't they?
Oh, I can't remember.
Because they hung a monkey as a French spy. Based.
Dangerfield did our society a favour by removing himself to plague the Far East. He's continuing the Empire's work on the opium trade. What a lad. We should all aspire to be like Chris Dangerfield. I do not suggest you aspire to be like Chris Dangerfield.
I suppose if you try and look at it as dispassionately as possible, it's got to be Dangerfield because Woes just lives on Daddy's neat bucks. Sorry, yeah. Faust's mate Woes. We should address him properly. Faust's mate Woes.
Poor Fowl, you're going to make him stop watching now.
No, he won't. He's like Woes herpes. He's never going away once he's got older.
Wow, bloody hell.
You know the podcast Three Stooges. I'm convinced that's a fucking drug ring. It's like, you got Black Pigeon Speaks. You got what's his name? Unoffensive in Vietnam and Japan. There's some East Asian drug peddling going on there.
But drugs or kids or both?
Yeah, no. Both.
Oh, you love to see it.
John Kelly says Woes knows Faust's mate Woes knows he's a cancer and he selfishly chooses to stay here.
I mean, to be fair to Woes, I think he gave some good takes in like 2018, but I mean, when he called himself a high Tory, he was right. But Dangerfield, a classic case of going native on the opium trade.
I think he was already well into the opium trade before he went there, wasn't he? Didn't he quote unquote go to Thailand to get off the drugs? Jesus Christ! How can you say that with a straight face?
All right, I'm trying to find Lawrence Fox's tweet.
Dangerfield went to Thailand for the culture, didn't he? Who's that other paedophile that said he went to Thailand for the churches? Was that Puff Angel or someone? I can't remember who said that. Truth Angel said he went to Thailand for the churches.
Yeah, me outside of a Roman bathhouse.
Dangerfield represents.
Because he said, I went to Thailand to visit the churches. I said, fuck off, you won't fuck a ladyboy. He said, I did not. I want to see the churches. I said, fuck it. No one goes to Thailand.
Churches in Thailand? I thought it's a Buddhist country, isn't it?
It's a Buddhist nation,
exactly, yeah. That's the point. It's like, there are no churches. What the fuck are you on about? If a man goes to Thailand, he's going there for drugs or ladyboys. That's the only reason he's there. There's no other reason.
I swear, like Thailand, had to pretty viciously fight off colonizers. It's like one of the 2 countries or 3 countries in the world that were never colonized, right? So it's like saying I'm going to Egypt to look at the synagogues, isn't it? Really? I mean, it's pretty.
I've got to answer Melanie Woe's mate Faust. He says one advantage of having barely any Dutch representation online, no scandalous degenerates either. Well, we do because we have Woe's mate Faust. They only have one, and he's literally the millennial Woe's best mate.
I mean, to be fair, Faust has done streams of nativist concern, so
it's not getting any better for him, is he? So you've got Woe's the sex pest and nativist that lives with a paedophile. And Faust's 2 best mates online.
All right, okay. Oh god, my Telegram tomorrow is going to be absolutely fine. Jeez. How many DMs am I going to get?
You throw the invite open to us, Oake, and you know how it's going to end up.
Well, I love it. I mean, it's hilarious. Right. I'm grateful.
I sound like Jackson Latte, apparently.
Calling me a degenerate.
Hello from the ethno state. This is the ethno state, is it?
Sound like Jackson Latte. Aren't you in Thailand with Dangerfield? Oh. Ain't Dangerfield. He may well be. Right. Okay. We went to we done this story now. I think we've probably done that story. I think Limbo, you wanted to send it to me on what do you call it? What was it? The clip you wanted to? I can't even remember, to be honest. I'm too distracted by talking about Chris Dangerfield.
Just before we move off of Starmer, who's his deputy? Does anybody know?
I think it's that ginger. Yeah.
Oh,
the redhead. Yeah. Angle or something.
Oh, Angela Rayner. Oh, she's a fucking clown, she is, isn't she?
Woe's listening to this crossing off Hemi off a millennial invite with a solitary tear running down his chin. I mean, I think I
promise I won't get as upset as Brutus did when he was crossed off the millennial list.
I think I probably had a chance of an invite, to be honest. But yeah, well, I don't want it anyway. There you go. Right, okay.
Just have a word with Woe's mate Faust. Woe's best mate Faust.
You're not feeling like being in the gay scene, 19 in the gay scene, are you? You're not up for it. Well,
you know that one, don't you? Hold on a sec. Oh fuck, where is it?
Limbu, what was that thing you said you wanted to go through? Can you send it to me on Discord?
I'm trying to find it.
Why are you doing it? I'll play this.
I can't even remember the names of all the people I had sex with. This was during my gay phase when I was 17. It was very easy to get sex in the gay scene, especially when you're 17.
Well, what?
Who could ever have thought he'd end up as a wronger, eh?
Wow. Rest in peace to the most focused member of the royal family. Okay.
I don't think I have the video. I don't have the video. I'm just gonna send you a random video to review. Right?
Video review. We can do the thing where we review old videos about
Yeah, just watch what I sent you.
I can't do that because it's on Discord. You just sent me an MP4. I can't open that. And it seems to be about Israel, so it's not very good optics, is it, Limby?
Have you heard this quote from Woe's best mate Faust? He said, "But I've only ever met Woe's when he was dating women." That's like, Jesus Christ! I don't call forcing yourself on women dating.
Woe's asked Mercy in the DM. Just jumped on here. Hello, Patriotic Archive. Right. Okay. Next story. Right, let me get it. You wanted to talk about, what was the other thing you wanted to talk about? Is the that guy who he made some tweet about, some guy who's like an Asian millionaire or something made some comment. Let's get. See, I'm not got the amount of topics right yet. Still.
I'm not even reading out that one of John McNamara. That's a fucking hell of a quote. You read that one, Ian?
Like a clown's sleeve.
All right, having for great being pro consent is pretty communist take. What?
He's so good. That's just a reminder that the Dutch are scum.
All right, Limbu's dropped out. Everyone, what was it? What was it you said? I think it's a Star Trek reference, isn't it? Dun.
Oh right. Yeah, okay.
You ready?
You got to reverse the polarity on the.
Fingers crossed, everyone. 3, 2, 1.
Warp drive.
Hello, boys. Did Oake die?
Dun.
It worked.
It worked.
Oh, no, it's still working.
My screen's frozen. Right.
Oh, he's got it.
The Scotty of his own show, Roy Lang. She can't take the world, Captain. Is Oake still here? Oh shit, Oake's gone. Oh shit, what shall I put on while he's trying to come back?
I don't know.
Well, fuck all those cunts.
37 gang is officially colonised Okie dokie.
Yeah.
We own this channel now.
Oh, that's it. I'll put the hardcore truth. Shall I put the hardcore truth on?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, here's the fucking $1 million. I'm going to barge in. No, hang on a minute. I'm going to fucking barge in here now. I'm going to tell you the hardcore fucking truth that you guys don't want to hear. Here's the fucking truth of the matter. You don't want to fuck these 16-year-old girls. No, listen. No. You don't want to fuck them, but some packy's going to do it instead.
Okay. But optics from Brewery.
Oake is regretting sending that streamline link now.
I'm not regretting it at all, son. It's just fantastic.
I'll start getting requests for drops in a minute, Oake.
The best one was where he literally points out like an 11-year-old and says, "Look at that 11-year-old! What, you wouldn't do it?"
Post-pubescent, isn't it, Phil?
If there's grass on the pitch, ready to play.
Faust, that's a very, very questionable take, I'm afraid.
It's a 100% Dutch take, though.
Okay, no.
He's not a nonce. He's Dutch. That's just the way they are.
He's already in a precarious position because of his relationship with Woes. So.
Yeah,
it's the big. We've got to be like the left, and we've got to have the bigotry of low expectations with Faust. So,
what you agree with the age of consent? You some kind of fucking libtard or something.
You some sort of feminist. Can't even nonce kids anymore. It's political correctness gone mad.
It's ball anymore. It's political correctness gone mad. Can't even have sex with a dog.
Phil is Mongolian. I don't know what that's.
I'm not. Listen, I've got part Slav in me, but I've got good Slav. I haven't got fucking Central Asian Slav in me. I'm probably, listen,
he showed his face. Pure Genghis Khan. That's Phil's phenotype.
Fuck off. I'm pure fucking. You fuckers are all Norman and shit. I'm fucking North FC. I'm North kind of. There's no Southern Europe in me.
I'm not Northern. I'm half Welsh, which means I'm Arab like Teller.
Yeah, you could be. Maybe you can reach the Celtic.
Phil, throat sting for us, mate.
Brutus is the 9th avatar of our Lord Vishnu. How dare you insult him? Yeah. There was some comment someone made. I should get that up. We're doing great stream thus far. It's pretty terrible. All right. Right. Okay. Let's go over this. This guy, I've pretty got up the wrong one. I should get the. That's the one I should be getting up. That's the same guy, but he just turns out this guy made some comment about Prince Philip, and then it turned out he was like some ultra rich kid, and then loads of people.
So... Not only are they racist though, Dad, but they're also sexist.
Okay.
That's pretty much that tweet, isn't it?
All right. Well, this is Limbu's story. I'll let him go to it.
So essentially, some non-indigenous person called Hassan Patel, and you can tell he's a silly his name. His name Corbynista, whatever the fuck. Corbynista teen. He tweets a sad day for the country as the Queen's cousin has passed away. I mean, that's just fucking pathetic, whether a joke or not. I mean, he did make an apology afterwards, but then it went too out of control. Then he went full puffter mode after that, like saying, you Islamophobic, imperialistic shit. When he goes to fucking Eton, he's got a scholarship.
Says the man marrying his 9-year-old cousin.
What? Fucking based in Bristol.
The thing which really takes the piss out of this is that, all of our royalty goes to Eton. Well, male royalty goes to Eton, and he goes to Eton. Eton educates the imperialists, what he called the imperialists, and it's rich coming from him. But yeah, that's a story, to be honest. Thoughts?
I wonder if does he even know they had that drive on to get people to poo in toilets? Is that the first social challenge he's going to go on, trying to get people to poo in actual loos?
Yeah, remember when they did that though? When they pushed like shit in and like poo in loo, right?
It's poo to. No, it's like poo. Number 2, loo. That was the thing. And the mascot was like a bloke dressed in a turd costume.
They rioted there, didn't they? A few people were killed because they were poo in toilets. They didn't tolerate it.
No, there was that guy that was paying people to go to the toilet to go and use an actual toilet, and then he got kicked to death. Didn't he?
Exactly, because he's embracing modernity, like a fucking retard.
You seen that one about that remote village that got their first toilet plumbed in, and they were using it as a shrine.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Right, what we got here? I've already done that. Right. Oh god, I'm losing track of the chat.
I mean, imagine an actual Muslim who's like, who are like burdening the NHS because they're all fucking their cousins. Actually making a joke like that.
Well, right. Yeah, those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Yeah. Shouldn't carry pipe bombs in their rucksack.
And for our next story, let me get it up. Anyone want to pass it over for white well-being? Or that was a terrible joke, anyway. We got this rubbish. I'm trying too hard. It's a balloon.
Oh, your balloon mug! It's got your face on it.
Oh god!
Shit! I had to throw that balloon away, Phil. After watching that stream, I just bought you a new balloon with your face on it and everything.
If you buy anything that's more than a pint, that's your fucking gay. At the end of the day.
To be fair, I've got a mate. I've got a mate, and I've known him 30 odd years, and me and him have never so much as exchanged a birthday card.
No, because you just don't. It's the unwritten rule that you don't buy your mate's presents because it's gay.
What about Christmas card? Is that all right?
Nah, that's all right, I guess. Don't go over. It depends. If you just say, "Here's a Christmas
gayer,
card,"
mate. Christmas cards are gay.
Yeah. Bisexual, you do that.
We're gonna have to do a poll. All right, okay.
Are we talking about Christmas cards to the whole family or just the bloke?
Everyone's just someone set their pictures. Oh, that's thousands. If everyone's keep changing their names, I'm not going to work out who anyone is. Right, Faust. What do you think of sending?
That's Ian A. That's Ian A. No white quilt. Yeah, that's his favourite picture. That's your favourite picture ever, isn't it? That no white quilt picture.
Fucking Christmas cards is gay, mate. It really is. Unless the family sending it, then yeah. Oh, is he gone?
Okay, are you there, okay?
Okie doke, go. Off to
Crying face.
Oh yeah, roll. Cool.
So yeah, if you buy any man a present, you're gay, man. That's what you are. You're gay. That's the law.
I'll go back to Freddie Bentley as my avatar.
I went full screen then, and that crashed it.
you know Freddie Bentley, don't you, Oake?
Who's Freddie Bentley? Is he? He looks like that guy who was in Queen. What's his name? Freddie Mercury.
No, he's this is what he's most famous for.
You pull it out, it sounds like someone's falling down the stairs.
Right, Biarki and Faust are threatening to fight each other in the chat. This is interesting.
Biarki ain't that far. Biarki ain't that far from it. I don't think we could get this on.
I'm 5'11".
I don't think Biarki should be like fighting a balding old man there, should he?
Oh well, just roasting everyone.
Your bum's plugged, because if you're fighting a fucking Dutch person, you don't know what they've got planned. That's all I'm going to say.
Can you really judge a Dutch person as a degenerate though, Phil? You know, it's just that kiddie fiddling is just their culture, isn't it?
Beggars, you fucking beggars, you fucking conservative.
Faust is 5'5". He does look pretty short, doesn't he, Faust?
I think he said he was 6'6", but
yeah.
In
his clogs, as someone said in the chat.
Yeah, his 6-inch clogs.
Brutus the Insane is the greatest philosopher / intellectual of the 2020s so far. Ideas for the modern age which harmonise with the antediluvian, synthesising Linux with monarchy and Vedic esotericism.
What, like living with mum and dad? It's like the way we deal with the housing crisis is living with mum and dad.
Remember, the Brutus plan is ultimately a selfish plan.
Yeah. You have 7 kids. What you do is you find your 13-year-old wife who move her in. Mum and dad look after the 7 kids. And she gives it a rate gauge.
I mean, Brutus is the Alistair Campbell of this. He's the far right's Alistair Campbell, isn't he? When he said that, you know, maybe we shouldn't lead with putting women in cages because they might not vote for it.
Well, he said they're not all going to vote for it. Sure, 25% are going to be on board. But let's be a libtard. Come a bit of a libtard, but most are not going to vote for it. Call me a feminist.
Most of that's what he said. Most of them aren't going to vote for it.
Yeah, but he did admit that, like 25%. Yeah, they're going to be. 25% are going to be on board with rape cages. Of course they are. You know, we got to accept. The way he says it is as if like most people are like, "Fuck off, Brutus." They put all women in cages. Fuck you on about Brutus. What? Yeah, he wants to live with mum and dad. That was meant. So you want to rest into tradition and live with your mum and dad? So fuck that off. I'm not living with my mum and dad. No way.
Oh Jesus! Could you imagine living with your mum and dad? Fucking drive me nuts.
Yeah, can you imagine even him shag? Oh God, I don't want to hear that. No way. And that's it. He said he's going to take their TVs off them. He said he's going to basically he's going to move his mum and dad, take their TVs off them, and
take over their house.
Yeah, they look after the 7.
You got to remember, the Brutus plan is ultimately a selfish plan. It's basically Brutus has got to make all women drooling retards, so he stands some chance of pulling one of them.
And then he does no work. He's like, I don't need to pay for the house because mum and dad are going to do that till they fucking die. This bitch is like 14, so she won't be able to escape. I'll just put child locks on the doors. What she can do?
Just put a slide bolt near the top of the door. That's what you got to do, isn't it? She ain't going to undo that.
I want to go out and play with me, mate. Brutus, you're not playing with your friends again. Fucking hell. He's fucking.
They're all sluts. They're all slags.
It's fucking degenerate. He just wants. It's just degenerate. Fuck's sake. Call me a libtard. I don't think you should be marrying 13-year-olds. Okay.
I'd just like to say to chat, look, Fausti's Dutch. It's not his fault. That's just the way they are. Don't upset him. Are you being bigoted?
Okay. Don't upset him, or you might get attacked by a fucking dildo, and he'll drug you with a dildo. Big black dildo, and his black boyfriend will fucking try and break it.
I've got some advice for you about how to deal with Faust.
When using products like these or having sex with a guy, that communication is key.
Who's dropped off? Oh, Kalatios, right.
Wow. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, did you want to give out some content, Oake? No,
I've actually embarrassingly, I've actually run out of stories. My gran says that she was disappointed when her no white gilt dressing gown finally arrived with a customs declaration stamp from mainland China.
Oh, Stephen J. James, mint. Stephen J. James, one of the greatest ever YouTube commenters.
My elbow drop Royal Oak in a minute. Go on then.
Halcyon says, is Faust a homosexual then? No, he's just Dutch, Halcyon. He may be, but, you know, I think it's just part of the Dutch condition.
Yeah, all Dutch people are homosexual. Probably. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, they're all druggies and gays. That's what the Dutch are, you know. Druggy gays.
Brutus is the British Joseph Fritzl.
Yeah. Pretty much. He just found a way of. Do you reckon Brutus watched the Joseph Fritzl thing?
Oh, come on. Do you think Brutus could do that amount, that kind of craftsmanship? Do you think Brutus would do a job like that? I mean, he's a man who went to the NF and they asked him for his time, energy, and money, and he just that was too much for him. So I can't see him doing a Fritzl.
Yeah, say what you like about Joseph Fritzl, but the man was a good carpenter. He literally was. He's a fucking legend in that regard. You know.
He made like a full flat under his house for his rape daughter.
Okay.
And no one
right, guys, can we drag this in, please? Okay. Right. Oh God, I've run out of topics. What were we talking about earlier? I forgot.
The carpenter Joseph Fritzl was. That's what we're talking about. You know. I'm a Wilder. I haven't seen his Wilding, to be fair. I don't know what it's like, but I'm assuming he's pretty good. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think Brutus wishes he was Joseph Fritzl. You know what? He's not even on the same level. Fucking.
Poor Oake. Is this the first and last time we're allowed on your show?
No, it's. You come on, right. Let's talk about Prince Philip. Let's talk about. We've already discussed it, really. Is there anything?
Yeah, we discussed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's going to be? Do you think? Yeah, I think you guys don't like Charles, do you? Do you think he should resign?
God, no. He's just gonna he's gonna become king, and he's just gonna fucking fill his boots up. He's a greedy bastard, isn't he? Have you seen all the? Did you see that thing the other week about all the laws that he's got MPs to pass that benefit him?
I haven't heard about that, but my father and I met Prince Charles once. He's a nice bloke. Yeah, so yeah, I kind of vouch for him.
Well, I suppose he's seen his mum and he does the bit, doesn't he, when he's in public? But I think behind the scenes he's a bit of a shit lib. I mean, you can't imagine him defending the Christian faith, can you? Because doesn't he do like yoga and stuff like that? Isn't he a bit of a Brutus? He's not quite into the British religions, is he?
Yeah, but yoga's like racism for women. What's her name? Jodie Kay. She does yoga, right? And she's a racist. It's like astrology. Astrology is. It's all right when women do it. When women
astrology is racism for women. You know this, don't you? Yeah. Have you taken the astrology pill? Have you? Okay. It's racism for women.
It is, yeah. So, I don't want Sagittarius coming in the country. There's too many Leos coming in. Too many fucking Leos. Crystal skulls are all over the place. Fucking vibration negative.
My chakras are all at 6s and 7s.
We need to vote in fucking Farage so we can deal with the fucking Leos. What? I'll go along with that. She's go along with it. It's like, yeah, whatever. I agree with you. These Muslims are fucking Leos. Fuck them up.
Yeah, did you see Jodie Kay got a write-up in the Mirror? Did you, Oake?
Has it been released yet?
Yeah, someone put the page in our chat earlier. Yeah, she was working at some place that was like £1,200 a week yoga retreat in Spain. Yoga's just surfing the Kali Yuga for middle-aged women.
Hang on.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, yoga's satanic.
Give me 2 seconds.
It's a way of getting easy. I mean, maybe the reason why he's into all that bullshit is because that's a good way of getting women as well. Like, if you're a fucking loser, you can get
I would say even Prince Andrew gets women, but he's not really into women, is he?
Not really.
He's Brutus pilled, isn't he? Prince Andrew is. Is that why Prince Andrew did it? You know, if I don't fuck him, the Jewish billionaires will. Is that what Prince Andrew did?
He read the Brutus Diaries. That's what happened.
Yeah.
He read the greatest intellectual in England right now. Unlike you people, or you people shitting on Brutus, you just don't understand you're not a great intellectual mind. That you know, you can't harmonise with the antediluvian. What the fuck does that even mean, antediluvian? I don't even know what that means, to be fair.
That's post-flood. That's post, the flood. Noah and the flood. That's post-flood antediluvian, isn't it?
Okay.
I'm going to check this because I don't want to appear ignorant.
This is just, everyone's saying, oh, it's bad optics. This is just jokes. We're having a laugh. I don't really think fucking Fritzl was based or anything. But it's obviously I will die on that hill. He was a good carpenter. Like he fucking was, objectively. I'd like to see you construct a fucking dungeon without people knowing. He did that in pure silence. Credit where credit's due.
Oh no.
Credit where credit's due. That's pretty good fucking handiwork. He didn't make a
He was one hell of a salesman as well, because he sold his wife the story that, our daughter's run away, she just keeps dumping babies on the doorstep.
Right? You know what I mean? That's real fucking rhetoric. I'd like to see you try and tell that story. Fucking brainless. You're a fucking brainless.
Maximus Lollier says, will the panel disavow?
Probably. I imagine so.
Man can I'm not doing that.
Faust is doing some weird flexes in the chat.
Faust is on board.
Well, it's Faust defending Fritzl.
Yeah, Faust would be bang on with Fritzl, wouldn't he?
I don't
It's in
think
his
the JDK
culture.
article's been released. I don't think it's actually been released, the JDK article. I can't find it.
It is. It's in the Sunday Mirror or something. I don't fucking know. It's in one of the tabloids. It just says hippy dippy dickhead is a racist. Something like that. And
Yeah, she called in. She called into. Yeah, I think basically she's just being used as like a sort of a hammer to be used against the Labour Party, isn't she? Really? Because like they're not happy with Starmer's response. So it's a minor story. I think it'll blow over, to be honest. But amazing.
What do you think to the pubs reopening then? It's going to be, and you're going to have to book. You can't just turn up and go to the pub, can you?
I might be going. It depends on what my friends are doing. Yeah.
You can just tag along with people and talking. You can just sort of say, you can just lie.
You see what John Kelly's put in the chat. Faust is just online because he's upset all the women in his family losing half their red light punters because of lockdown. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Is this true? Is this true, Oake? You're the leader of the Football Lads Alliance.
I remember that there was actually like flags of the. I remember actually seeing Football Lads Alliance flags. That was probably one of the. Mind you, the original Football Lads Alliance was pretty like. I think everyone's going to disavow this stream.
Apart from Faust, because we started talking about Fritzl.
Brutus won't send a Christmas card after you. Oh, that's a shame.
You don't send Christmas cards. He's a fucking Hindu.
And it's gay. That's why.
But when I did wind him up on and watch stream, he did say Jesus Christ. So I think he's culturally Christian.
Middle class and proud. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of ending, to be honest. I've run out of topics. Brutus doesn't do Christmas. Cool. I don't know how I went for like 7.5 hours last time. It's because everyone was just talking about like random shit.
There's a bit in the Metro about some woman who only grew one breast.
Oh.
Wow. One
Metro one breast. Woman has rare condition that means she only grew one breast. Her right breast grew to a D cup, while the right one grew to an A cup. Right, I'll get it up.
Well, that's a lie. Then she's got two tits, then, but one of them's just bigger.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of high quality political commentary we provide.
Fucking
yeah.
On the Call yourself journalists.
Yeah, it's a bit mismatched, but I mean,
Anglo Noel says Brutus will send you a curry for Diwali.
Milking the content dry with this one. Yeah, I've got
to Becky fucking Butcher, but she's alright. I bet she's alright. Go with you.
Fucking hell! Oh, that's bad. That is bad, isn't it? Milking the content try with this one.
Oh, I only just got that. God's sake.
Phil, would you smash or pass? You're between women now, so you can answer.
Over the head with a fucking up. No, probably, yeah, probably, but I wouldn't be happy about it. I'd probably.
Would you put her in a cage? Would you go in your underground dungeon, Phil?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, no, but yeah, it's worth the poke, I guess. That's worth the poke, isn't it?
Yeah.
But nothing serious. No, it'd do my head in. It'd do me. Wow.
Bro.
She's quite a pretty lady. She's not ugly. She's not stunning, but
wow.
She looks like she'd set fire to your PlayStation, and she's fucking burning the coal, obviously. So fuck her off.
it looks kind of
What is it? A picture of a boyfriend? Oh no!
Oh, that's horrendous.
Shit, she got one titty, man. Shit.
Poland syndrome. I didn't want to be a child.
Shit.
Well, she's from London, so I mean,
fuck, they call it Poland. So they call it Poland syndrome because the jobs are finished. Is that why it's called Poland syndrome?
She's got one death. That's crazy. It looks fucked up, that does, doesn't it? Get your
Oh no, it's dreadful. Imagine.
That's a bit weird. Not gonna lie, it's a bit weird.
Yeah. No one would get it.
Reminds me of a story that Freddie Bentley told me once.
This is more like a magic trick. I've actually seen this in Amsterdam being pulled out of a vagina, and it was a bit weird, to be honest. Not gonna lie.
Lovely.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you haven't got to worry about people trying to like having an affair or anything. She looks like a dickhead, though, to be fair. If she looked fit everywhere else, I probably would. I wouldn't be that bothered. But she looks like she'd set fire to the PlayStation. Just not because of the tits, but just the way she looks. So that's why I'd stay away.
You think she's a problem girl, then, do you? Yeah. You want to see if you can find the opinion section and go through one of the opinion sections on the Metro, because they're usually quite funny.
Yeah.
Metro. Why she wanted to publish news on this? Well, she probably has an OnlyFans or something. It's probably what she's done.
Why didn't she? Yeah, she's probably wants to get a boob job. Why don't she just get a tit job?
Well, she said she doesn't want one, but
I doubt.
Probably gets more money that way. You know what I mean?
She just wants to hype.
This was a story that Hemi covered. Girls hate me because I'm a trad wife who stays at home. I saw this. Yeah. Like part of me wants to say based, but part of me it makes my fucking skin crawl. I don't know why. I think it's just like
cringe, but it's cool. Like if you know what.
I bet she isn't trad as well. Like all women who call themselves trads, and they're not fucking trad. They're always snorting coke at the weekend and fucking.
Yeah, but I think she is actually trad though, isn't she? She just don't want a job. I think Is that why you feel a bit unnerved? You think she just don't want to work? To be fair, she does say her husband did have a word with her. He said, "Look, love, you're doing a proper shit job. You need to pull your fucking finger out," didn't he?
I think the whole point of it is like I think when as soon as she said I post it on social media, I began to understand where it's coming from.
Yeah, YouTube channel. She's got a YouTube channel as well. So
yeah, she's waiting for people like Airy and Kite Slammer to come in the chat. Oh yeah, you're fucking based. Yeah, oh, fucking hell. You got OnlyFans, so can wank off. Fucking loser.
Oh, they still. I'm gonna time you both out just in case like something happens. Right there. You go.
What Faustin Bianchi?
Right, do it somewhere else, not in my fucking.
Yeah.
Screen. I'm putting my foot down finally. I wasn't checking.
Hold on a minute. She said she's an anti-modern day feminist, so she's not anti-original feminism. She isn't what. Right.
Well, I think what she's saying, I think she's probably saying that she's a pre-1960s feminist, which means I think she means as in like women should be feminine.
Yeah.
I think is her point. But still, she says, if you read the article, her husband actually sat her down at work and said, look, love, you're doing a shit job. You need to pull your finger out. And that's when she pulled her finger out, when her husband had a word with her.
Oh, so she was a lazy fucking bitch, and he said, I'm going to kick you out the fucking house if you don't start cleaning up. Oh, yeah.
He gave the bitch a slap and sorted her out, and then she's been good as gold ever since.
Feminism today actually goes against what feminists back in the day stood for. They think so. She's basically like a Sargon classical liberal trad wife, essentially.
Yeah.
Well,
good old.
Yeah, it makes my skin crawl because I think it's just posing. That's my view. And she's like,
well,
yeah,
she looks different. She looks different in every picture, which kind of tells you she's a bit of a slut.
She's dyed her head.
She likes the image. She likes the popularity. She likes clicking likes.
Yeah, the popularity just makes it cringy. Like
someone will have.
Look, there's literally four different hair colors in that article.
You'll have to tell me because I'm colorblind, but looks like to me like she's got red hair there. She's dyed it red.
Yeah, she's got red hair. You go a bit further down, it's brown. On a wedding day, it's blonde. And then I thought I saw another colour as well.
That isn't her on a wedding day, is it? She's put a few fucking pounds on the fat fucking bitch. Jesus.
Yeah, look.
I think she looks. Well, she's baking all those cakes, isn't she? That's what she does all day, mate.
Yeah. She sits on her ass. The inside of her nose looks a bit red. I reckon you're right, Phil. She's doing the sniff at the weekends, isn't she?
What she does is, weekend, she's the most degenerate person.
That one where she's put it on that one where she's licking the spoon and leave that. Look at that. That's looking well sore inside those nostrils, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Hang on. Oh, I clicked on the wrong tab. So bad at this. Right, hang on. Where's the... There it is. Yeah.
She's sporting coke.
She dyed it with fruit juice.
Jumping on the cock carousel. And then Monday comes. She's like, oh, I'm trad, I am actually. I've been...
No, husband's off to work and she's shagging the fucking milkman, isn't she?
She's like, I've been really busy. I've been making cakes. Fuck off. What have you been doing? Fuck.
I've been packing tea. Yorkshire tea, Banter.
Yorkshire tea, Banter.
Yorkshire tea, Banter.
She's a slider, isn't she? Sliding all over the chair. Why is she look so different? She's got like 4 different pictures and she looks like 4 different fucking people. What's going on?
That one there, she's got the brown hair, isn't she?
Scruffy fucking jeans.
Yeah.
That's definitely trad, isn't it?
Those jeans need some darning, don't they?
Definitely.
Well, it's just my problem is like I don't know, like it seems to be like from the handful of people I guess like women I know who are like vaguely like that. They're like I don't know, they're very territorial about like those kind of things. So like you must stay out of the kitchen and I must like stay in the kitchen, which is like. I don't know, like, you know, people have different interests, don't they? Phil's gonna be like, oh, nan kid, homosexual. Did you make the nan kid role in your server just for me?
Yeah.
I don't even know what it means. I've never heard anyone other than Phil.
Explain. This is something we got from Phil. Explain what a nan kid is, Phil.
So a nan kid is someone who has been raised by their fucking nan and granddad, and they turn out weird. Like they don't. We all know the kid who's been raised by their nan and granddad, and they're not like everyone else. Like they've got like proper good manners, and they watch Rupert the Bear, and they wear a cardigan. That's like a nan kid.
Never worn a cardigan in my life, I must say.
Fuck off! You've got a little dick bow tie.
I do not own a cardigan. All right, it's not true.
You got a bow tie. I bet you got a bow tie and watch Rupert the Bear.
I don't own a bow tie. I own ties, which I either wear to job interviews or to weddings, and that's it.
Hatch, match, and dispatch. That's what you have a suit for, don't you?
I don't.
So that's a nan kid. A nan kid is.
Yeah, do you know that phrase, Oake? Hatch, match, and dispatch.
No.
So it's I can't remember what hatch is. Oh, hatch is a christening, match is a wedding, and dispatch is a funeral. So you have your suit for your hatch, match, and dispatch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the problem with like dressing nicely, but I used to sometimes wear plaid shirts to like college.
Yeah, it's all right dressing nicely, but like there is a line where you go to nan kid territory. Like if you wear a dicky bow tie and it spins around.
Yeah, like that obnoxious little. Do you remember that? Do you remember that obnoxious little kid that was on Antiques Roadshow that turned out to be a tranny? Do you remember that kid? What's his fucking name? Do you know that? Do you know that one, Oak? This is like some 80s stuff. This is.
Well, I don't know. I think probably girls like the whole like dicky bow tie thing because it's like Doctor Who, isn't it? So
no, they don't. That's what women say. We're alone. What the fuck? Women don't like.
Maybe a fat goth chick would like that look.
Well, didn't there used to be like loads of like Matt Smith stands? Like Matt Smith is quite muscular.
I was just saying, everyone should own ties and cardigans. You fucking nan kid. Listen, I ain't got a problem with ties. Listen, a tie is fine. That's what normal people wear sometimes. A cardigan, when you fucking put a cardigan on, you're in Nankade League, yeah? You've crossed the fucking line there, pal. You're going to be watching Rupert the Bear. Who knows what's next? You don't know what's next. You're a fucking Nankade. I think you could.
To be fair, I will say I did sometimes stay at my grandparents over the holidays, so perhaps I am.
Yeah, I'm on about being raised by your nan. Like, mum and dad's dead, and you're raised by your nan, and they turn out fucking weird. They're not right. They don't turn out to be normal people because they're not socialised properly. If that makes sense, because they're not socialised properly, they turn out fucking weird.
Sort of. I mean, I can only go for 2 hours because I've run out of StreamYard hours because I streamed for 7.5 hours, and I think it was like last Sunday. But, it's because new people kept joining and they kept having like trying to cover the entire of the bloody Western canon at like 2 a.m. So
no, you don't want to talk about the Western canon. You want to talk about Joseph Fritzl and this little tranny kid that was on. I'm trying to find a decent before picture of this fucking. It's now called Lauren Harries. It used to be like this obnoxious, weird little kid.
I disagree with Phil to an extent. I think our society should have higher standards of dress. To be honest, like you see people going outside now, just like in
Lauren Harries. That's disgusting.
You just found it, have you?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
You seen it when he was a child?
Yeah, Dickie Byrne on that shit.
Yeah, that's a nan kid. That's a nan kid.
Send it to me.
That is piss poor.
This is child nationalism. It's funny though.
Chavs breed? Do chavs breed? Yes or no? Nan kids don't breed. Nan kids fucking wank off to Rupert the Bear and never impregnate women. Chavs at least breed.
There you go. Have a look at that one. That's from the HuffPo. It's got a picture of like that kid when he was little.
Right, so put in. We've done talking about her. She's not actually. To be fair, she's not actually like a bad-looking girl. She's probably, I don't know, perfectly nice. And I'm sure
I think these guys. I think everyone's shitting on her for no good reason. It would smash.
I think she looks like a bitch. She probably. I can imagine her chucking that on the floor and saying, you fucking bastard." I don't know.
I'm sure that's a very nice pie. She's not covered the edges properly, but
she seems trad. But then it's just cringe how she's just posted online. Like she's got the son to post it as well.
And I need to remind everybody: one, she's got a YouTube channel, and two, her husband did have to have a fucking word with her.
Have a word. Exactly. She needs to up her output of YouTube content. That's what he said. I'm licking the spoon. Hi guys, I'm so trad. Like, look at me. I'm
just going to show everybody my extremely sore inside of my nose because I'm coke binging all weekend.
Please don't make any comments about me being hot. Teehee. Oh, stop saying that, guys. I bet she loves all the attention.
But she's got a fucking OnlyFans and she's like, "Well, actually, I don't post nude in them."
She's not fit. She's not fit. She's boss-eyed.
She just takes like pictures of her with cakes. That's what her OnlyFans is.
Yeah.
We just slandered her, poor lady. She's probably perfectly nice.
Has she got children?
I'm not sure. She's a trad wife, isn't she? She's
There's no mention of kids yet, though.
No, she's probably got.
She's just at home having a pie baked.
I bet she goes, "Oh, my kids are my dogs. My dogs are my kids." I bet she fucking does. My dogs are my kids.
Am I a nan kid if I like baking? Is that a nan kid thing?
Yeah, that is nan kid shit. Yeah, if you actually enjoy baking as a fucking,
I mean, it's a free country, Phil. I can have whatever hobbies I like.
No, you can't.
I used to go football as well, so I mean, I bounce.
Okay, that's
football and non-kid behaviour.
Bowls is not good.
Hey, gentleman Adams in.
Hi, Adam. It's gone really downhill. We're talking about tradwives. We were talking about.
Yeah, I'm on Adam, so you know it's gone in the usual direction.
Right. Okay. I've still got that woman with one tit up. For God's sake. Right. There we go. Right.
What are we saying that the one tit rule adheres to Rule 37?
Lauren Harris wants Britain. What? I can't say Britain now. Britain's youngest tycoon. Wants Britannia's youngest tycoon. Opens up about her transgender journey.
But when Phil talks about a nan kid, this is that's pure. That's pure, undistilled nan kid.
Oh no!
What happened? He was raised by his nan. He didn't know. Because the thing is, all kids have to revolt. They have to rebel. And nan kids, they have no way of rebelling, so they turn into trannies and fucking weirdos. It's a fucking joke. It's not a joke.
Oh, join the nan kids, Oake. Only Rupert to the back and save us now.
Yeah.
Freedom loving loyalist here. Hello, freedom loyalist. Phil is a Mongolian nan kid.
Mongolian nan kids are trad. Mongolian nan kids fucking attack people. Yeah, not like Anglo nan kids are the worst nan kid. Whoa. No, I'm not kidding. I don't know what the worst nan kid is.
I'd say that's the worst nan kid.
Yeah,
what the hell is that physiognomy? There's something going on with that. Those eyes are very suspicious.
Yeah.
Is that Finnish or is it a bit of chink?
Yeah, he looks Finnish. Yeah, he looks like I don't know. It's all over. It's just nan kid physiognomy. It's like a different race of people, aren't they? It's just evolved into fucking.
Literally, I don't know what. Speaking of appearing in Big Brother, one of that pie face guy, he's got like a load of subscribers. He was on Big Brother.
Oh yeah, Peter from Horror Henry.
Peter is the nan kid. That's who we're talking about, right? Thank you, patriotic Archard. Yeah, so Peter out of Horrid Henry, he's the nan kid. Every lad should be like Henry, a little bit of a bastard. If your kid is
or Dennis the Menace.
Yeah,
what's his name? Who was the leader of the Softies? Was it the Softies? Whatever that fucking puff, the Dennis the Menace.
Yeah.
Who was he?
It's every kid, every if you have a son, your son needs to be a little bit of a bastard, a little bit of a bastard, a little bit naughty in the sense that, you know what I mean? If they're perfectly behaved, they're either going to turn into a serial killer, a homosexual, or a nan kid. That's what's going to happen. So just be grateful if your son, I don't know, put something's car tire down or something. I don't know, I'm fucking around, but you know what I mean. If they do something naughty, you'd be like, phew, that was a close call.
Trying to find out who they were in the.
Oh. Frithwolf wanted to play this. I'm not sure. I have no regrets.
Walter the Softie. That's it. Do you remember Walter the Softie, Phil, from the Beano?
Yeah, this is a classic archetype in British culture. Like we've always had these stories.
Oh, Walter Softie. Oh, Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Yeah.
If your son is perfectly well behaved, you've done wrong. You have done wrong. You've done fucked up.
Hold on. Because of Walter's profoundly feminine behaviour, some critics have led to the assumption that Walter is actually gay. Because of this speculation, not only did he have a girlfriend created him, but Dennis the Menace also had to soften his antics against Walter, in fear it would be seen as homophobic bullying.
Getting picture. Right, he wants me to play this.
People are ready to tell us this is not possible, that is not possible. I say, whatever the true interest of our country calls for is always possible.
What's life is a bullet that goes through screens. You hit the final screen in your day. What happens after? None of us know. In my philosophy, the energy that's in us goes out into everything which exists. I have no regrets. I have no regrets. I have no regrets. I have no regrets. I have no regrets.
John McNamara says Bowden is Nan Kid Gang.
No, Bowden isn't Nan Kid Gang. What the fuck?
Fire,
No.
energy, glory, and thinking. Thinking is the important thing. That for me is life. Being white isn't enough. Being English isn't enough. Being British isn't enough. Know what you are. To read about your own culture is a revolutionary act. Knowledge is power. Listen to high music. Go to the National Gallery. Look at what we've produced as a group. There would be a respect for the past glories of our civilization. I urge all white people in this era to look into the mirror and to ask themselves, what do you know about what you are? And if
Don't
you
want to
don't
know what that
enough,
means.
put your hand on that mirror and move towards greater knowledge of what you can become. Greatness is in the mind and in the fist. The glory of our time is not behind us. We can be great again. But the first thing that we have to do is to say, I walk towards the tunnel and I'm on my own and I'm not afraid and I have no regrets.
Yeah, that was cool.
Sure. There's no way he's a fucking Nan Kid. Like, a Nan Kid would never say that. A Nan Kid would say, oh, we've got to go home now, fucking mum's worried.
Yeah, that is a good one. Heroic Ideal, you should probably sub that. I think I used to know someone who was friends with him. But...
Oh.
Faust is coping hard. Sorry, Millennial Woe's friend Faust is coping hard. He said, I just need to show up and say a few things and make everything about me. It's that easy with you Anglos.
I mean, he always justifies it by saying, like, we don't fight amongst ourselves when he's here. So like, he's just fighting with everyone else, like threatening to like go to someone's house or something. I don't know. God knows.
Lovely.
Iron Duke. Yeah, Iron Duke's here. Bowden was brilliant. Deserved better treatment.
Bowden was brilliant, but everybody that knows him said the problem was that he was like one of those fucking nutty arty types, weren't he?
I think, to be fair, he probably was a bit of a Nan Kid. He dresses a bit like one, doesn't he? I think he was quite poorly adjusted to like normal life.
Yeah, he just couldn't do basic shit, could he?
No. He had all the vocabulary and the arguments and stuff, but he just couldn't do anything. He was crippled with...
It's probably like your mate Newton, and he fell.
Yeah, Newton. Was
it Newton the one you said you went to a party and just fucking sat there all night, like way after it had finished?
Yeah, like Newton used to turn up to parties and then he'd stand in the corner doing mathematics and people, and then at the end of the party, people would say, you got to leave now, and he'd just go autistic and say, I'm not leaving, and just stay there while everyone's up there doing mathematics, and then see himself out. That's what he did. But he wasn't a man kid. Yeah, he's just autistic. People with autism aren't Nan Kids. Nan Kids are just Nan Kids, aren't they? They're their own ethnic group. You know what I mean?
Is that how Holland was formed? Like all the Nan Kids like sailed away from England and made their own colony.
They're scared of mountains. Nan Kids are scared of mountains and hills. That's why they went there. They all migrated. But then again, people in Holland are tall, aren't they? They're tall, but they're just big gays. That's what they are. Big gay people. People Holland are. You don't have man kids. Fuck off. you're spiritually non-kids.
Spiritual nan kids. Spiritual nan kiddery.
Oh.
Yeah.
Possible
Look, Dickie Bow and
homosexuality.
He's got the Dickie Bow tie on. Does it spin around? And everything?
Wasn't there a whole thing where everyone said he looked like Jacob Rees-Mogg? Is Jacob Rees-Mogg a nun kid? Phil?
That's the newer version of Walter the Softie. He used to look a lot more like. I'll see if I can find an old image of him.
Yeah, she has become queen of the man kid. No, Walter Rees-Mogg isn't a man kid, but his son is. His son's a man kid. Like, they're just posh spazzes. They're not man kids, they're posh spaz. Like, there's a difference between a posh spaz and a nan kid. Like, a posh spaz isn't necessarily a nan kid. A nan kid is someone who's literally been raised by their grandparents too much. And it's hard to discuss. You know it when you've seen it. You know what I mean? You know when you've seen it. That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
Something.
Step foot in England. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
We're almost hitting the 2 hour mark right now.
Yeah, I think it might literally just stop at some point because I've done all the hours I can do on stream now.
I think it carries on, doesn't it? It just won't let you start a new one.
Oh, all right then. We can do it for 7 hours again.
The live post. I think you're just making shit up. You just.
I'm 6'1". I'm 6'1" to be fair, so I'm quite a big guy. Jacob Rees-Mogg has paid a nanny to raise his kids.
Well, that's what's going to happen to his kids. To man kids.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Copy.
Try that last one. I just put. One I'm just putting in. I'll put one in just now.
Hold on a minute. Right, Daisy's saying I'm officially nan kid gang. No, hold on a minute. Because if you're a woman, it doesn't work. Like, women don't become nan kids.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. Like, women turn out okay if they're raised by their nan.
Don't women nan kids just be like really trad? Is that how you get a trad wife? They're like women nan kids.
Yeah, it works out better for them. If women are raised by their grandparents, they're usually fucking trad as fuck. But like, when men are raised by their nan kids, they turn out like this fucking retard on the. Well, boys have to be thrown into the wild when they're like 12. You have to throw them outside with a football and just hope for the best. It's like, crack on, lad. I don't know what's going to happen.
You just throw them out with a football and a tree to climb.
Yeah, you say, there you go. That's how you'll become a man. You're like, what if the paedophiles get me on? It's like, whatever. Work it out. You'll be alright.
Kick him in the balls, son. See you later.
I'm going nuns. You're fucking not going nuns. No way.
Is there? Do you think there's like a worse paternal grandparent? Is it like the maternal or the fraternal grandparent? Which one do you think's worse?
No, it's the nan. It isn't the granddad. Like, if you're raised by your granddad, you'll turn out to be fucking men probably. Because but your nan, she can't create men of this generation. She can only create men of the. Well, they put too much. It's the word I'm looking for. They mollycoddle them too much, don't they? Like grandmothers mollycoddle their sons too much, to the point where they look like they're idiot with a bow tie, and they can't deal with the world. They can't survive in the wild. It's like keeping a lion in a zoo. You know what I mean? It's well known. If you've got a son, you throw him out into the wild at some point, and that's what you have to do. For him to be
Anglo Niall says Flowers in the Attic, kids. You remember you seen Flowers in the Attic, Phil?
I've never seen that, man.
Well, his stepmother hates the kids, so she keeps them locked in the attic, won't let them come out at all.
Right, yeah, that's what happens with nuns, that they don't let them live. Granddads will. Granddads do the opposite. Granddads are probably worse than your fucking parents, in all fairness. Like my granddad used to make me fucking do manual labour all day. You know, fuck around and like, come on, son, we're going to fucking dig a hole in the garden. It's like, fucking hell, I'm only 8. Jesus. Granddads are like that. They're like, go on, get in the fucking mine. And your dad will come and say, fucking hell, Dad, you put my son in the mine. You're like, bloody right again. Doesn't want to put his 8-year-old in a mine.
Don't describe to be a puffer, do you?
Yeah, the granddads are right. If you got a granddad kid, that's based. I think granddad kids are mint, but nan kid, worst kid.
Well, unpopular opinion, but I think Roger Scruton, he looks like a nan kid.
Not anymore. He don't.
Yeah, he's dead. But he definitely looks like a nan kid though. Like fills the criteria.
Look at Roger Scruton. I know. Delingpole raves him. I do like Delingpole, but he's a nan kid, isn't he, Delingpole?
Yeah, he's a nan kid. Well, he's a bit of a nan kid. He's just a posh spaz as well. He's a posh spaz and a nan kid. Yeah, I don't know if he's a nan kid or not. I'll have to ask him climb a tree or something. That's how you test us if you've got a nan kid. If you have to ask him to climb a tree. If they can climb a tree, not a nan kid. That's it. Simple as
that. We've got to ask Oake and Limbo now. Can you climb a tree, lads?
Yeah, I've climbed trees before.
That's right.
Yeah, I made a rope swing once. That was fun.
Based over a river.
Well, no, like it was like it wasn't over a river. It was like one of those things you swing on. It's just like a swing.
You got to do that. You got to do it over a river, and then the rope snaps or the branch snaps, and then you go in the river. That's how a rope swing should finish, ain't it, Phil?
Say again.
Rope swing. If you do rope swing, it's got to end with a snapped rope or a snapped branch, and you go in the river.
Yeah, you've got to break your leg or something. If you haven't broke your leg,
The thing is, I'm not sure if I am a nan kid though, because I used to play sport quite a lot. I don't think that's really a nan kid thing to do, is it?
No, nan kids, they do really gay shit like press flowers and stuff like that.
Yes. Stamp collecting, chess.
Yeah,
I think I did play chess a bit in year 6, but that's just because like some of my friends went to chess club. So
chess club.
Well, it was in year 6. Like, I mean, surely chess is like quite a high IQ sort of like pastime.
Yeah, that can be
John Kelly. I climbed a tree and set fire to it and had to jump about 20 feet because it's really dry and burned so quick.
Yeah, the anti-nan kid. That's the anti-nan kid shit, though. That's what little lads should be doing. Little lads should be getting up to a lot.
Set fire. You got to have your pyromaniac stage as well, didn't you, Phil? Did you go through the pyromaniac stage?
Yeah, set fire to a field.
Yeah.
When I was a kid. That's what little lads do. For some reason, if you're a little lad, it's like, oh, whatever. He's just set fire to a field. Crack on, son. Oh, he's a lovely boy. But yeah, whatever that. Yeah. You know. But
just lads. It's basically a nan kid is a lad who's a bit soft.
Mm-hmm. Completely soft to the point where they. Yeah, is that?
You found nan kid milk powder.
It's Limbu's second appearance on the stream, anyway.
Oh, of course.
Oh my God, they're putting nan kid. They're putting nan kid in the water and people to nan kid.
Nan kid's making the freaking kids gay.
Oh, we got Iron Duke. My grandfather told me about finding the skins of 2 British officers the Pythons had captured on the northwest frontier of India between the wars. I was 8, lol. How would you rate that?
That's what granddads do. Like my granddad would talk about killing people in the war all day, and my dad would come in and go, "Stop fucking doing that now. He's fucking sick."
It's a bit more South African though, because you have to kind of do a mixture of Australian and South African. So we'd have to do like a deep lore analysis on what words he says with a South African accent and what words he says in Australian accent. So I've
got a question though. Was Duke in the army? I've never been able to get to the bottom of this one.
Yeah, I'm really not sure.
I've never been able to tell whether he was in the army or not.
Yeah, maybe he was. I can't really remember.
I don't know. I think he should just talk. I think he should talk about it a bit more, whether he was in the army or not.
Weird Welsh name, Keedamon or whatever. I think he's hiding his bow tie right now. He's like, fucking bow ties aren't gay. The fuck's he on about?
Bow ties are cool. Doctor Who told me.
Well,
my nan told me I look really fucking handsome in it. You fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. I thought loads of girls raved over Matt Smith.
No, it's Nana's grandma, Prithwolf. For God's sake, man.
I thought loads of girls raved over Matt Smith when he was Doctor Who, but maybe I'm wrong.
Exactly. Like he was a nan kid. He was nan kid Doctor Who, weren't he?
Maybe. Tonight everyone is getting bantered. Oh dear.
That Richard Iwaddy was a nun. He's a nun kid, isn't he, Phil?
Yeah, for now.
Yeah.
Right, copy that. Who knows what's even going on the screen at the moment? List of bow tie wearers. Oh, Winston Churchill wore bow ties. Isn't it Winston Churchill? I don't think Winston Churchill's a nun kid.
No, because he was in the war. Like, if you've been in a fucking war, you can't be a nun kid. Nun kids die in wars, don't they?
List of bow tie wearers. Fucking what? Everybody in the world who's ever worn a bow tie ever.
Look, he's based. That's
Fred Smith from Acacia Avenue was once seen outside wearing a bow tie.
Yeah, Phil, you're a fan of this guy, aren't you, Murray Rothbard? Very based guy, isn't he?
He's a fucking nun kid. Fucking Murray Rothbard's a nun kid. What he fucking is.
Well, he's based on some things.
Yeah, he was kept sheltered from the fucking economic reality. It's fucking nuts.
Have you seen what John Kelly's put in the chat? Fritzl's grandkids were granddad kids, but not in a good way. Fuck.
Tucker Carlson wears bow ties.
He does look a bit nan-kiddy, doesn't he?
Okay, I will say something, right? Rich people are not necessarily nun-kids, okay? What happens is that nuns will always raise their kids to be upper class, even if they're not upper class. So if you're in a working class environment and you're raised by your nun, she will raise you to be part of the upper class when you're not part of the upper class. So you're still a nun kid. There are people in the upper class who are not nun kids, like they have the ability to fight and be arsonists and be little shits, but they have the appearance of a nun kid. Whereas nun kids have the appearance of a nun kid and the spiritual, metaphysical properties of a nun kid. Okay, I don't know what I said then, but it sounded right. Yeah, that sounded about right. Yeah, press flowers. Someone Moke said pressing flowers, doing shit like that, not doing the stuff that boys do. Pressing flowers, baking, helping their mother with shopping. Yeah,
no, that. you see, 100 Anders isn't a nan kid because he battered 3 Antifa. Whereas Collett is your classic nan kid, where he goes, "Uncle David, would you mind leaving my house, please?" An hour later, Mark Collett decides to do everything Uncle David tells him to.
Yeah, he's a nan kid.
Yeah,
he definitely is. Or no white guilt. No white guilt's a fucking nan kid. He bought his friend a present. That is classic.
A balloon. It's a balloon with your face on it, Mark.
That's what your nan would tell you to do. Like if you said to your nan, you said, "Oh, Nan, it's my friend's special stream next week," she'd say, "Oh, you should get him a present. He'd love that, Mark would." And that's why a nan kid would do that.
This is the ultra scary far right guys buying each other balloons.
Jim Bob said nan kids have picnics. That's not true, because Geralt, who's absolutely not a nan kid, took a bird out and he made her a picnic and he took a melon as well. The date failed, but
don't get me wrong, sometimes people will pretend to be a nan kid. It's like, I'm not a fucking degenerate, look, I'm a fucking nan kid, you can trust me.
Yeah,
but they're not nan kids. A nan kid genuinely enjoys picnics, like genuinely. Yeah. They fucking love that shit.
And he'll really get into it, won't he? And everything will be perfect.
Yeah, all neat and tidy. Do you want to play?
Iron Duke gets it. Blokes press flowers.
Yeah, exactly. None kids do.
They don't. They're correct, Iron Duke. They don't press flowers.
This isn't about girls. When girls are raised by their nuns, they turn out to be better for whatever reason. But boys, when they're raised by their nuns, turn into serial killers.
Oh, Bjarki just mentioned the king of the Nancast streamers Unwashed.
God.
Yeah, Unwashed is a nun kid, but he was a nun kid. Like when he was a kid, I imagine him being a nun kid. And then the problem with nun kids is that they have to rebel at one point, and because they rebel in the classical sense, like most lads, when they rebel by being a little shit, don't they? Like,
Dangerfield was probably a nan kid. That's probably why he went on to the heroin and stuff like that, because he really didn't know what he was getting into.
Because like most lads, the way they rebel is by being a little bastard, and the classic way, the classical tale. And nan kids, because they have no way of rebelling because they've been raised properly like properly, right? They rebel by drugs and being gay and stuff like that. That's what they do. Cross-dressing, stuff like that's what man kids do. That's why you got to be careful.
Cross-dressing, telling everybody that they should all just get along and be friends on YouTube streams, that kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely that kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe I just got compared to Unwashed. Like, this is a new fucking life for me.
Who's compared you to him? Well, that's unfair.
You said
Not okie dokie.
you said we're both nan kids, so.
No, you're just posh. You're not a nan kid. You're just posh. You said you're fine. I believe you. The problem is with posh people is that you don't know if they're nan kids or not. Because you just don't know. You got to test them.
Yeah.
You got to say, okay, then we're gonna climb a tree and we're gonna. I don't fucking know. I'm just, you know what I mean. You've got to be tested. Can you climb a tree? Look at Seederman. Seederman is a nan kid because he's proper coping in this fucking stream. He's saying, "I'm sure Prince Phillip would approve of the discussion of who is a nan kid." He would, yes.
Prince Phillip fucking weighed in with it, you know. He'd go, my Eddie, he's a nan kid. That's what Prince Phillip would say. I'm never sure about that boy. Yeah, because you know, Philip doesn't really like. He's always been a bit suspicious of Eddie, isn't he?
If Royal Oak is posh, then I'm a bit. To be honest, like comparatively to you, I'm probably posh. To be honest, when I went back up to London though, like. A lot of people were talking a lot posher than me, and I didn't live in a particularly posh area. I come from Hounslow, which is not, which is not really. What would you say? What'd you say, Phil?
Anywhere in the south is posh. If it's below Birmingham, it's posh.
What? Is Croydon posh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not even going to engage with that.
See, if you get the posh argument, you need Godwinson on here, but he's kind of fucking disappeared at the moment. But you know, just basically everybody's a peasant compared to him. Godwinson.
Look at both. I've got an actual country estate. Yeah, but it's in Holland. You know what I mean?
It's Holland.
It's probably got a shipping container full of kids in it as well.
Yeah,
Hampshire's a good county. I'm Midlothian. Fucking hell. Is Halleck and Daisy posh? Yeah, she is a bit.
Posh, yeah.
Mind you, she's from Luton. That's not posh. So sorry, that's a dog's name. Ah, fuck. No good. I'm terrible at Oake.
Daisy's not wonderful, but I love Daisy's voice.
Croydon is not fucking
posh.
It's in the south. You've got access to fucking water.
Bits of the north are quite nice, though. I mean, I've been to the north on occasion.
Yeah, I mean the north.
Yeah.
I mean, some parts of north are posh. Like if you Yorkshire, North Hallerton, that's a good place. Yeah.
So English Skyline is like none of us have ever said Leicester's posh. It's where Collett's from. Oh fuck, what's it called? Where Kate and Jerry McCann are from. Don't never forget that. Oh fuck, what's it? Rothley or Rothley? They call it Rothley. That's how posh it is.
Yeah, it looks like a quite posh place to me.
Yeah, well, like I say, Kate and Jerry McCann live there. So
yeah, Griffwolf said, "Unwashed still lives with his mum. Does that make him an Uber nan kid?" Yeah, it does. He is a fucking Uber nan kid.
To be fair, I live with my parents, but that's only because I'm 19. So.
Yeah, you're only fucking 19. Like fucking Unwashed is like 34, and he? I don't fucking know all the years.
To be fair, he is post-divorce, so isn't he allowed that one?
Not really, no. Well, yeah.
I mean, well, he did go for like easy mode marriage, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He picked a fatty. A
wheelchair bound.
A wheelchair bound fatty. He didn't even get a fit wheelchair bird. Like, if you're gonna get a wheelchair bird, you get a fit one, don't you?
There are some fit wheelchair birds. You ever googled like fit birds in wheelchairs?
Some of them are really fit, and they can't get away either. You can put the boots on. So no. But yeah, if you're going to get a wheelchair bird, make sure it's fit. Don't get a fat wheelchair bird. What are you doing? What are your standards? You know what I mean?
And the bonus is, if they're paralysed from the waist down, you can do anything you like with their legs, can't you?
Why has Murray Rothbard been up for about half an hour? It just sounds like Murray.
Because he is a nan kid. He was sheltered from economic reality.
I think
his nan used to read Adam Smith to him all day, unironically.
I think we need to have a discussion about where the north begins.
Watford Gap.
I'd say I don't know. I'm from very far south, so I'd probably say like after. To be honest, I consider after Bristol sort of north. To be honest,
it's the Watford Gap. The Watford Gap is the official start.
Yeah, Watford. Yeah.
The Watford Gap. No, the Watford Gap, which is Northamptonshire. So it's like top end. So it's like top end of Northamptonshire. I think is like the accepted start of the north.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah.
I've heard Scunthorpe, but that means Sheffield's in the south. So.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, Sheffield is not in the south. No way.
Yeah. So that means I'm half northern if we're going for Northampton.
So that means like north. So like Northampton would be south. I think so. Like Northamptonshire would be south, and then anything above that would be north. So like Leicestershire, Derby. I mean Derbyshire is north, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Imagine all the blacks in Croydon walking around with monocles and top hats.
They do, yeah.
Hello there, star.
Oh dear! I remember. See what I love about being my age is like I can remember when if you saw a black with a Brummie accent, it was like the most funniest thing in the world.
Mm. You still don't get
they don't fucking talk like
that. There is still very, very few black people with Plymouthian accents. I must say, it's quite rare.
Well, this is what I never got about Ralph. It's like Ralph supposedly went to public school, and like I know no end of Indians. I've met, not I know, but I've met no end of Indians. They love talking in like RP, don't they? But like Ralph still talks like he's like fresh out of the slums of Delhi. That's what I've never got about him. Yeah, he's been through the public school system. It doesn't fucking make sense.
I went bloody public school, mate.
Yeah.
He didn't. No, he was just. I don't believe. I think he's a lying piece of shit. To be fair, what surprised me.
I think he's lying about his education history because there's no way someone's been through the private schooling system and they speak like a New Delhi gutter rat, is there?
Especially brown people. Like when brown people go through the private education system, they make sure that they have that received.
Well, they have to. Well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, there is. I'd say there probably is like a fair bit of racism because I'm with posh people because they're like classist, aren't they? So like having a foreign accent would like make them judge people. So I think you probably have to adopt like the RP way of speaking pretty quickly if you want to survive in a place like that, don't you?
Mm. I don't know. I think Ralph had a quite posh accent, to be honest. It sounds like to me, but I mean, might disagree.
Bloody fuck you, bloody fucker. You think that's quite posh, do you?
Well,
bloody fuck. £1 fish. £1 fish.
I mean, all I've got to say is me and you back at the pub. You will be taught that.
Back in the pub, mate. No, he just used to do that thing, mate. He just used to do that thing, mate, where you should talk like that, mate. And that's all he did. He used to stretch his words out. That's all he did. He never actually spoke with, like, a decent accent.
It's such a shame that all the Ralph clips aren't saved for the people.
Oh, dear.
Are you lying, man?
Yeah, man. Me and you...
brothers.
Weekend in the Highlands. Whatever it was, I can't remember. Weekend in the Highlands, and you'll be taught that lesson.
Taught a lesson, mate. Didn't Steadfast Saxon used to have that on his bit shoot?
Possibly. Right. We're gone for 2.5 hours, but
yeah, this stream isn't getting any better.
Right. Libby, you got any ideas for any like closing songs or anything? I don't know.
No, actually, song recommendation. No, actually, fuck that. Never mind.
Well, we'll get something off Patriotic Archive. There we go. I'll chuck on Limby. Limby did the intro, which is really good, so I'll chuck him. There's a weird thing going on with likes. It went up to 20. It went up to like 30 likes, and now it's gone down to 13. It's like something's really fucking weird with the likes. It's the same one.
What happened with my stream yesterday? I wouldn't worry too much. Like it said 12 or something at the end. It said 2. I don't know what's going
on. Everyone took their likes back, did they, Phil?
Yeah, there's something weird going on. I don't know. I think Hemi's stream only had like 3 likes as well. Poor Hemi.
I think mine generally only does have 3 likes on it.
No, well, To be fair, like this stream today.
As you can tell from our content, I'm not in this to be popular.
This stream is like BTEC Hemi. To be fair, isn't it? Really. To be fair,
it's BTEC Hemi.
I've literally nicked half your articles as well. So.
To be fair, it's like one of Brutus is only more interesting.
Right, we'll get Patriotic Archive. We'll pick one at random. And we'll play out to that. Pretty good stream, actually. Hit like if you haven't already. There you go. Play that. No, we're not.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys.
Yes, guys.
Play £1 fish for Ralph.
Very, very good. £1 fish.
£1 fish. £1 fish. Or
Right,
Baby
okay.
Shark. Play Baby Shark. Baby Shark, do 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 do. Baby Shark. You know that one.
The bear theme song?
Oh, I actually have a good song. Wait, let me.
Rupert the bear. You know that one, don't you?
Right, let's have a look at some more.
Phil's got the single of it.
That's a Nan.
Do you know the theme tune?
What, for Rupert the Bear? No, I don't. I'm afraid.
Yeah. No, you don't. Oh, okay. Just testing.
Phil's negging. You negging me, Phil?
Oh no, you can get copyright strike.
No, I just had to just because it has. I just saw like
Pink Funk. That sounds like some sort of like something you'd look up on. Yeah. Tune.
Go kill myself.
It's Limbo.
Oh,
That was the whole point about it. Sorry, it's just a bit of subtle racism there. Thought you were.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we love racism. Yeah.
Racism gang.
Oh,
Yeah,
someone wants
racism.
to say, he wants to say Nietzsche's a Nan kid. We'll get a picture of Nietzsche up as a Nan kid.
Nietzsche's a Nan kid. Don't people get really upset when you call him Nietzsche?
There he is.
The Nan kids get really upset when you call him Nietzsche, don't they? What are you supposed to call him?
He never got laid. I'm not sure if he was raised by his nan kid, but he had a bow tie. He didn't get laid ever, and when he did get laid, he got fucking what did he get now? Syphilis, right?
Oof.
What a loser. Yeah. Well, he wasn't really. But then again, it was good that he was a nan kid. Because he was a nan kid, he got some serious philosophy done. If he'd ever got laid, he'd have never got any work done. You know what I mean?
Was Nietzsche like the first incel then?
Pretty much, yeah. But he was a fucking idiot. Like, if I remember rightly, he literally met a woman and then within 5 minutes asked her to marry him. Like a fucking idiot. What a retard. Who the fuck does that?
I will say though, like we brought up all the Nan kids like Scruton, Bowden, Nietzsche. You know, it's the Nan kids that really inspire our political thought.
Yeah, but they don't do anything.
Sartre's got to be a Nan kid then, and
He is a nan kid. Sartre was a nan kid because he lived with his mum, didn't he? He lived with his mum until he was like fucking forever. Even though he was fucking Simone de Beauvoir or whatever her name is, right? He still lived with his mum. Did you know that?
Did Sartre get Did Sartre get £12 for doing 8 hours streaming one day?
Probably. He also, but you know, at the end of the day, obviously, some nan kids they can have profound thoughts because they deal with the torment of being a nan kid. Like being a nan kid's a hard existence, and sometimes they realise the real truth of what's going on. Because sometimes you can have like a base nan kid.
How about Himmler? Is Himmler a nan kid?
I don't think
He looks a bit of a penis. Man.
Reverend Nan Kid Sideways is a Nan Kid according to Punch Punishing Kelly.
Yeah. He's a fat kid, isn't he? He was just a fat kid.
Poundland Sargon, isn't he? That's just Poundland Sargon.
He was a fat kid. Like Reverend Simon Sideways was just a fat kid. He was the kid who had Mars bars in his pockets and fucking Doritos all day. No, exactly.
I used to go to school with this fat trampy kid, and what he used to do, he used to empty crisp packet. I don't know why. I think it was so he didn't get caught with a crinkling. But he used to empty crisp packets into his blazer pockets.
What a bastard.
That's what Reverend Simon Sideways was like. He was also, yeah, he was like that. He was like a fat kid. the fat Jippo kid who was, you know, the weird kid who would sniff glue and fucking fixing the nose all day. That's what reference. Yeah, nan kid. Like, yeah, Sartre was a nan kid. He had Simone de Beauvoir. He got cooked as well. She fucked everyone, and he lived with his mother. He was a nan kid.
Is that Sartre? Is it?
Yeah, official nan kid. Also a nonce.
I thought he wore polo necks. Or was that in his early days?
It's just
all them French philosophers wore black polo necks, didn't they?
Maybe.
No, he didn't. He didn't do that.
Do you remember that one from? Do you remember that line from Red Dwarf where they said, well, Sartre said, "Hell is eternity, spent with your friends." So then I think it was Rimmer probably said, well, all of his friends was French.
He was also Brutus pilled, wasn't he? Like Sartre was Brutus pilled. He wanted to lower the age of consent, like 14 or something. So yeah,
silly.
Maybe foreshadowing. Maybe Sartre was foreshadowing Brutus. Who knows? But that's what he wanted. Then he wanted to lower the age of consent. Maybe you know.
All right. I think we've come to the end of this. Which link did you want me to play, Limbo? You've sent me two.
Any of them. One of them's a French one. One of them's a good old royalist one.
I'll play the royalist one. Which one is the royalist one?
The top one. Yeah.
Faust says the age of consent in France is already 14. Yeah, it was probably put in place by some Dutch that invaded that wormed their way into the parliament.
Yeah, look how Faust is like. That's bad though, Faust. It's not good that it's lower. Like you're like, yeah, we're fucking way better than you. We're paedophiles.
Actually, it's not a paedophile. It's a
pedophile. I read a story like I think earlier this week about apparently loads of Dutch people go down into France like to campsites, and they bring with them like Dutch companies that sell them Dutch food and loads of in France I think they call them like ants. I think that's what they call the Dutch people who do that. Because they like they go down to the campsites and then they bring like Dutch food like vans with them, so they don't even like spend money in French restaurants. And they invaded the north, of course.
To be fair, I would do anything not to eat French cuisine. I mean, French cuisine being good is like the biggest myth ever, isn't it? I mean, who wants to eat fucking snails and horse?
So I was going to eat this. It's called Disciple for today. So what's that? Dog's arse. Oh, beautiful.
Oh, God.
Lemon glazed ass.
Okay. All right. I think we've done that all now. Let's do the playing out. Thank you very much for coming on, everyone. It's been an absolute pleasure.
You won't be saying that when the comments come in, okay?
We'll let it go. Brit Nan Kid Ick Round Table. Brit Nan Kid. Brit Nan Kid
Ick Round Table.
Lothringer is Dutch. Continental Europeans keep arguing each other who would believe it. Right, yeah, we'll do this one to play out. Oh shit. There we go.
What are they talking about? Somebody's club foot. Simon Rev's face is uglier than Goebbels' club foot.
Yeah, because Simon Sideways was Sargon's bodyguard, wasn't he, when he did the UKIP thing? I seem to remember.
Oh, Jesus. He was a bouncer at Mothercare, weren't he?
Mind you, Simon Sideways hosted that debate with you and Unwashed, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a shit job of it too. He did his usual fucking shit job of mediator. He's like the worst mediator I've ever seen.
Yeah, because what happened was, Unwashed said, I disagree with your ideology. And then I said, okay, let's talk about ideology. And he said, I don't want to talk about ideology. But you fucking just said, the fuck you know what, man? But yeah, whatever. You can't expect to have a good argument with Unwashed. He's a fucking idiot.
Or with Simon Sideways mediating, because he's fucking useless at it. I haven't seen him do a good job once. I mean, he laughed during that Laura Towler stream, didn't he? That's how fucking useless he is.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Reverend Simon Sideways, you could shoot him in the fucking head and nothing had happened apart from when he runs with whistle. Nothing had happened to him.
Do you want anyone want to burn any other bridges for me while they're at it?
Faust, I'll just have one last go at Millennial Woe's best mucker, Faust, who says I'm a mess. That's Millennial Woe's best friend, Faust, that said I'm a mess.
Okay. Before I get in any more trouble, Monarchist Music, I think it's from Monarchist Music. Good channel. Give us some. I'll give it a scrub. Yeah. There you go.
Boo!
Okay. Me and Phil need to have full-on blood sports at one point.
Weren't Phil just absolutely hammered last time you had blood sports?
Yeah, I was pissed up.
It's more like beer sports, man.
Well, I can't now because I've got to go down the laundrettes tomorrow because our washing machine.
I'll tell you what, man. You come have a debate with me and you can bring your fucking Nangit Mises and fucking Rothbard. Alright? Fucking well, we get it.
I've got a video coming up called proof. It was like I can't remember what I've titled it, but I've read an article that's got like proof in it that the free market doesn't cause degeneracy. It's caused by economic like downturns and lack of economic freedom. So
fuck off. That is going to be.
You seen the post of Dragon Dildos? Jesus Christ, mate!
You will love it. You will love it, Phil, when it comes out. I promise you.
Jesus.
Go on for another 5 hours. No thanks. I've got to go down the laundrettes.
Commiserations. I went to the laundrette once. I'd rather fucking hang myself than go to a laundrette.
Oh god! And they're all going to be. You have to wear a face mask. Oh, fuck off. Right.
Oh dear.
Sorry. Limbu's pro face masks in lockdown. So, I mean, okay, we're not going to have a go at Limbu.
I bet Limbu wears a face mask in his car, doesn't he? Is that how much of a cuck he is?
No.
When in a car when he's on his own, do you wear a mask?
I'm not even in the UK right now, so I couldn't really give a fuck.
What do you think to people who are in a car and wear a fucking mask when they're on their own? I think they should be just taken out and shot by the side of the road. I think that's the only thing you can do for them. Obviously after a judicial process.
Everyone's saying go on for another 5 hours. I think we've pretty much like covered everything.
Yeah.
Unless anyone else wants to bring anything else up.
Unless anyone wants another 5 hours of non-kid talk. Hot and heavy non-kid talk.
Non-kid gang. That's the new one.
Hold on, let me just one more. Faust doesn't eat Indian food. That's because he's got an arsehole like a wizard's sleeve because he's Dutch.
Sorry, is that Millennial Woes' best friend who does streams of Native Concern?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
he didn't eat Indian food. It would just be like a job done, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Duke has told me to contact Faust because we've got to do a stream with him.
Love you, Faust. Love you, Faust.
Faust, okay, actually. He's not like.
He's okay for a Dutch, but like I say, you just got to drop your standards when you're talking to the Dutch. You just got to remember what they're like.
Right. Before we upset anyone else, for a
Dutch, he's all right.
Or anyone else who threatens to send any Norwegian biker gangs to people's houses. Gonna have to play.
What the hell kind of analogy is that? A wizard's sleeve? What? It doesn't know what a wizard's sleeve is.
It's where you. I think it's where you wipe your nose on your arm, isn't it? Is that what it's called?
No. Well, imagine what a wizard's sleeve looks like. It's usually say about a woman's vagina.
Oh,
it's pretty loose. Yeah. How can this stream have lowered your IQ? You don't know what a nan kid is.
Just nan kid. He's hiding his bow ties, chucks it in the bin. He's nan saying, "Are you okay? Some gay Welsh name? Do you want your cakes?" No, I don't want cakes anymore. Oh, okay. Fucking hell. No, I don't want cakes anymore. I'm going to be a real man now. Do you want me to pack your lunchbox for you? Yeah, man. Make sure you put my frubes in.
Shreddies. I want shreddies for breakfast still, though, Nan.
Knocks over his shreddy. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing, weird gay Welsh name? And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm a fucking man now. I'm only kidding. Yeah, fuck your IQ. I'm glad your IQ is lower. That's what happens.
Yeah, fuck all this IQ shit. Only people with low IQs talk about IQ.
Yeah. IQ don't mean fuck all.
The tyranny of Nan is over. The time of the white man has come.
Yeah,
Correct.
exactly.
Yeah. Beautiful quote.
Britain has become a nation of Nan kids. We need to come out from behind Nan's pinny.
Fastest just Dutch 50-50 moment.
Yeah, we do.
Where's the fruit juice? Well, something I was going to say is that Nan kip, I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, brewing. My granddad sometimes he's brewed like plum ale before. Is that a Nan kid thing? What do you think?
No, it's a granddad pastime. If it's a granddad pastime, it's all right.
Yeah, granddad pastimes are good because that had alcohol in it. It's like, oh, fucking hell, you bastard. Good,
it's when your nan shows you how to press flowers and do baking. That's when the trouble starts.
Well, the thing is, you could do flower pressing mixed with brewing, couldn't you? Because there's like dandelions and shit and elderflower. I don't know.
But obviously, putting in a press to make alcohol from it, that's the only kind of flower pressing that is acceptable.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, if you're doing it that way, fair enough. We get that. That's one about granddads. It's sound. If you're raised by your granddad, you're going to learn how to make alcohol. That's fucking meant.
Yeah, right? You're going to be able to fix a car, do carpentry.
Yeah, all sorts of bullshit. You're going to be like a real human being. Whereas if you're raised by your nan, she'll make you making a fucking plum pie. And make you wear a bow tie with the neighbour's kid.
And with a jumper with your name on it that she's knitted for you.
A big fucking woolly snowman jumper or some bullshit that's like a right detail.
I've got a mate, so someone's brought up saying, I've got a mate who has like a YouTube channel where he wears like Eton suits and shit and he does sewing and stuff. But he's like, maybe he's a Nan kid, I don't know, probably is.
Suits and
just
ties.
Ask him next time you see him, say, what was your relationship like with your nan? And if he says, oh, look, man, we spent all day with each other, say, sorry, our friendship's got an end now, I can't see anymore.
Well, I bumped with him in Germany. I haven't spoken to him much since, but it's trad if it's pressing while granddad does war crimes.
Yeah, that's all right. That's how granddad would get away with it. Like granddad.
How he stuck it to the Hun.
You got confessions. But my grandma used to cook for me sometimes when I was a kid. He made me tough, but not as tough as any meat she ever cooked. She could not cook.
Yeah. To be fair, my nan was bad. My nan was bad with.
Wait, Phil, was that you who did the Mark Collett / Laura Towler impression on that stream about 6 months ago? Because I never worked out if it was you or not. I think it was.
No, it was. What you mean, Shoot Gavin?
That was me. Yeah, that was.
Oh,
me,
that was fucking brilliant. Hello, guys. Can you, Phil? Please, come on.
I can't remember it. Hi, guys.
What, when you were sliding all over the chair?
No, this is something else. They were doing it, and I came on as Laura Towler.
Yeah, there was like 10 of us, like all had Mark Collett as our profile picture, and I think Phil came on. This was about 6 months ago, wasn't it? 7 months ago, something like that. Which probably isn't that much time to you, but to me it's actually quite a long time. Hi guys.
But yeah, at the end of the day, I know a lot of people in this chat, they're worried if they're a Nan kid now. They're fucking.
You should be. Worrying. You should always worry about being a Nan kid. You should check your behaviour. Make sure that what you're doing is not Nan kid safe.
Yeah, not doing Nan kid shit. Do you collect stamps? Do you have a cardigan? Do you have a bow tie? Do you enjoy baking plum pies? Think about it. You're going to turn into a tranny. Or is it's all fucking... Nans turn boys into fucking trad women. What they do, they're fucking weird. They're fucking...
A lot of serial killers lived with their nan, didn't they?
Yeah, they do.
Ed Kemper lived with his nan and granddad.
John McNamara is about the only like traditionalist left, so I hope he doesn't. Nan time leads to Nan kids. Nan kids. Well, the other insult, right? Okay, this Nan kid stuff is funny. Aww. My nan hated him.
My nan hated him.
The anti-Nan kid.
Based.
The anti-Nan kid.
Male trafficking. Oh, we've got fucking.
Sorry, John McNamara. You probably are going to become a serial killer or a transvestite or something like that. Sorry, John. We just tell the truth here. The straight dope.
There we go. I've still got Mark Collett's profile picture from that stream. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Hi guys, and welcome to Patty.
Hi guys.
Hey guys. He's a non kid. Look at he even that picture is him posing for his nan. You know, when your nan makes you a nice picture. So look at
back then and now, right? Couldn't find sleep, lick a stamp, or put the cat out. And I think he'd admit that himself.
See Joe Emmons knows.
In the interest of white well-being, that's the other guy, isn't it? Fuck. Thanks for buying me a balloon.
Yeah.
These people actually sound a bit like Mark Collett. Someone put
these people.
I say because I say these people a bit. I go these people right here, right? 100th. Welcome back to the 100th episode.
Now these people.
These people.
Now these people.
I need to get Hemi's soundboard. I mean, be peak. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's taken a long time to collect this soundboard.
How many Ralph clips have you got? Have you got loads?
I ain't got any Ralph clips. Ralph, I only just started doing these. My favourite folder's my Charlie Big Potatoes.
Jelly tit
Josh.
Jelly tit Josh.
Jelly tit Josh, meat.
Josh.
I mean, you tell me what is this a rape threat? This one.
You're fat, you're weak, you're a faggot, and you're about to find out how much of a faggot very soon.
I mean, is that a rape threat? I think that's a rape threat.
Sounds a bit like it, yeah.
Gonna take me off a nice romantic meal. You. There you are.
Thank you, Halicon. That's very reassuring. All right. Unless anyone else has got any more funny clips to play, Hemi, any choice?
Fucking loads of them. Are there any? You got any requests?
Let me think. I need to send you the clip of Laura Towler saying Free Lines Radio. I've got that. It's about the only one I've got.
Down with the sickness. Play Down with the Sickness.
Oh yeah. Hold on a sec.
Fucking paid what? 20 grand a year to be a fucking knobhead.
Fuck off.
Fucking love that one. What did you want? What did you want, Phil?
Down with the Sickness, Bergen out.
Shit. Yeah, I think I do have this one.
I've just put the fucking fuck you!
And believe me when I say, these people. Anyway.
You're fucking insane, mate. What the fuck are you talking about?
All right. On that note, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this song on now. Right, we're gonna.
Yeah, I'll leave until I'll wait till then.
There we go.
Let rogues and cheats prognosticate concerning kings or kingdoms' fate. I think myself to be as wise as
37 in the chat, boys. 37.
My sight goes beyond the depth of the pond, for rivers in the greatest rain, whereby I can tell that all will be well when the king enjoys his own again. Yes, this I can tell that all will be well when the king enjoys his own again. There's neither small or dove or date can soar more high or deep or wait, nor show a reason from the stars what causeth peace or civil wars. The man in the moon may wear at his shirt by running after Charles's wane, but all's to no end, for the times were not meant till the king enjoys his own again. Yes, this I can tell, that all will be well when the king enjoys his own again. Full 40 years this royal crown hath been his father's and his own, and is there any one but he that in the same should share me? For who better may the sceptre sway than he that hath such right to reign? Then let's hope for peace, for the wars will not cease till the king enjoys his own again. Yes, this I can tell, that all will be well when the king enjoys his own again. Though for a time we see white always heads hanging on the wall, instead of gold and silver braid, which formerly was wont to have, with rich perfume in every room, delightful to that princely train. Yet the old again shall be when the time you see that the king enjoys his own again.
No, no.
That all will be well when the king enjoys his own again. Then fears of vaunt upon the hill, my hope shall cast her anchor still, until I see some peaceful dove bring home the branch I dearly love. Then will I wait till the waters abate, which now disturb my troubled brain. Then forever rejoice when I've heard the voice that the king enjoys his own again. It's this I can tell, that all will be well when the king enjoys his own again.
Cavaliers are based, God anointed authority, mate. Just so you know. Fuck Cromwell. Anyway, I think that concludes the stream. Thank you everyone for coming on. Big up the I should put Hemi's link in the chat, shouldn't I? I'll check. You know, Phil. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say anything. Like, he does provide some pretty funny takes, though, even if it's not intentional. I mean, you just hear some things this guy says, and just like, what? In a good way. In a good way. Don't beat me up. Right.
A fucking balloon. A fucking balloon.
Are you fucking gay? Are you fucking gay? Fucking balloon.
Balloon.
Right, some north, south. Why have I put South Northern Nationalist? Some Northern Nationalist. There you go. You are now South Northern Nationalist.
South Northern Nationalist, Phil.
Right. There we go. We'll put it in the chat arena. There we go. So that's coming for. Right, we'll put Limbo in as well, and then we'll.
Yeah, go sub on Desperate, please.
Okay. Right, honourable Limbo. Like, to be fair, his intro was pretty good, so we'll give him 62 subscribers.
I had 66 earlier until the Google bot had a wank, you know.
Alright.
Yeah.
God is endowed the British race.
I just basically. Oh, sorry, mate.
Oh no, carry on.
I was just going to say, I just basically like any number that you see on YouTube, just disregard it because they just make this shit up as they go along.
Well, yeah. All right, that should be the conclusion. We're just coming up to midnight now, so I'll give the God has endowed the British race with a worldwide empire that they may execute his sovereign purpose in the world. The victories you will have over the heathen are the victories of the noblest soul in man. God save the Queen. Go in peace.
God save the Queen.
God save the Queen. Go in peace. Have a nice week, everyone. I should be doing actually a film stream on Wednesday. I think we're doing Waterloo this week, so tune in for that if you want. And yeah, thanks guys. Good night.